Should be good.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hello, Scribbles.
Hello, Scribbles.
Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Say hello, Satsu.
I brought a single fuck with me.
Your Lord of Producing the show tonight. Say hi, Sinatra.
Hello.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. What a day. First, we had a giant clusterfuck of a congressional hearing.
Oh, that was
Lords of the Night. And now we have the first Democratic national debate coming up here in about, 28 minutes?
Something like that.
Featuring the likes of Amy Klobuchar and Beto O'Rourke.
Those are the headliners.
Those are the headlines. How you guys doing today? How you doing, Satsu?
I'm pretty good. Was very productive today, similarly to yesterday, so I am happy.
Very well, very well. How you doing, Sinatra?
I'm good. I'm getting a faint whiff of shit from outside, so normal.
Well, it's Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
How dare you talk about our shit-smelling city?
How you doing, Scribe?
I am 3 pepper jacks in and a little loopy, but otherwise, all right. How about you, Monkey? How are you?
I'm okay. I'm a little upset.
Why is that?
Because I saw on Twitter that Shoe on Head has decided to live stream the debate too.
Oh, no.
That's not shit. That's sulfur. Fireworks.
Oh, well, at least fireworks do something interesting.
Sinatra is quiet and everyone else is very loud. Let me see.
They sound fine to me.
Invite me to your train. We have a full house here. Full house already.
Oh, yeah.
This is about as full as we ever get on Lords of the Night. 4 is like our limit, unless we're crossing
the streams.
That's right.
Should we do a truncated internet fucketry ahead of this thing to try to get some of the other stuff out of the way, or how do you want to do this?
I feel like we should fill it with something. Yeah, that'll probably be a good.
Well, yeah, we have 26 minutes to fill now. So did you have some bucketry, Scribe?
I did. So you referred to the hearing today when that involved Google and Twitter and Facebook. I was only able to catch part of it, but thankfully I caught the part where Dan Crenshaw spoke.
Yeah.
Crenshaw was beautiful.
I'll leave you to Crenshaw, but there was one thing in particular that caught my brain. Shortly after Crenshaw spoke, there was a senator or congressman, named Correa, I think it was, or Correa.
Yes.
Correa, and he grilled the Facebook executive regarding the Nancy Pelosi. Oh shit! I'm sorry. You should do the opening. I apologize.
Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button, everybody, and share our stuff because we're interesting people. All right, go ahead.
Anyway, so Congressman Correa was grilling the Facebook executive regarding the Nancy Pelosi quote-unquote deep fake video, which wasn't really a deep fake video. It was just slowing it down to make her sound drunk. And he made some points about how, what is Facebook doing to prevent this from happening again? Because people would see this and assume that it's real and therefore make decisions based on yada, yada, yada. And as I listen to him talk, and I know I sound like a complete boomer, which I'm not when I say this, but as I listened to him talk, my mind harkened back to the paranoia and concerns that occurred after the War of the Worlds broadcast back in the 30s. And I only know about this because of referential research, not because I was there, obviously. But I tweeted out, Corey's argument over the Pelosi video sounds a lot like the complaints after the War of the Worlds broadcast, because of the assumption that people believe in the veracity of the platform without question. The platform is responsible for people's critical thinking. Yeah, because part of the controversy that occurred after the War of the Worlds broadcast was that people tuning in just after the opening, which explained that it was a dramatic play, essentially, believed it to be true because radio at that time was being used and was considered to be a platform of fact, of news, of actual events. And so there was a complaint that, Orson Welles took advantage of the platform to fool people into thinking it was real, and therefore they had to rein it in or apologize for it or whatever. And that those same concerns seem to be coming out of the mouth of Corey, except about this Nancy Pelosi thing. And I thought it very interesting that we find ourselves in an exact same position now with Facebook and Twitter and YouTube as they did back in the 30s with radio. So,
well, for me, because that part annoyed the shit out of me. He was grilling because there was also a woman from the ACLU, or at least she used to work for the ACLU. I don't know what she does now. The fuzzy-haired chick.
mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
She was brilliant.
She was the only smart one on the panel. He asked her, "You think this would be covered by the First Amendment?" Well, yeah, actually, it would. We have a Supreme Court case that proves that. Yeah. Because there's only one of two things possible here. Either you believe that is actually real enough to be Nancy Pelosi, or it does fall under parody. Mm-hmm. Either way, and as she pointed out, the Supreme Court has ruled repeatedly it's okay to lie. Now, you can't defraud somebody, but it is okay to lie. That is covered by the First Amendment.
Right.
And this isn't a case of fraud, so it's at worst some dude lying about Pelosi. And he was just incredulous about, how dare you suggest that that's covered by the First Amendment? Yeah, maybe we should make lying illegal. He actually fucking said that. Would you support a proposal to make it lying illegal? Like, what? I think you missed her point.
I think she missed her point.
And
I think she was spot on.
Wasn't the left classically champions of free speech and First Amendment? Weren't there like marches and protests on Berkeley back in the day about protecting First Amendment rights and free speech and everything else, and like fighting against the right who would try to suppress speech and all that? It just listening to these grown adults, and not even like, weird semi-adults. I'm talking about grown adults who have the perspective of decades worth. Like the Korea guy, he wasn't a spring chicken. He's been around the block a few times, and he was saying like, oh, we have to like police what people are saying or how they like criticize our elected officials. It was like I was watching something that was staged for a sci-fi film in some places. It was so bizarre.
Well, it's because the focus is different now, because these people they're not technically fighting to end everyone's speech or to cancel everyone's speech. They think that if they do this, they're going to only cancel the speech of people they don't like, and they're going to only block out words in speech they don't like. They truly and genuinely believe that, once this happens, we'll have free reign to say whatever we want, but those people won't. So I think that's the actual difference. Instead of arguing for, free speech for everybody, they're arguing to cancel the speech for specific people.
Real quick, thank you, Rex, who says free speech. Whoops. That is the sound, you guys, that I wake up to when it's time for the stream. Mm-hmm. We're a little bit early tonight, so I forgot to set that off. There's a group of college students right now discussing. They're weighing in on the economy over there on NBC.
Yeah, that's. I don't even have that playing.
Oh God, I just have it over on the side. So I was listening just a little bit there, and the question she just asked is, have these candidates done enough to articulate how they're investing in your future?
Oh God.
Yeah, that's not who I go to for my economics advice. A bunch of college students.
Oh my God. But I mean, that's what we do now. Jesus.
There's this constant refrain of like somehow young people possess some mystical, knowledge that goes beyond their years. The wisdom of a 9-year-old when talking about their gender, or the forward-looking perspective of the millennials on stuff they have absolutely no fucking idea about. It's madness sometimes.
No, this isn't madness. This is Sparta.
Yeah, this is Sparta. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for tonight for that. She went on to ask, because they all said no, of course. They all said no. The candidates have not done enough. Well, and they said, can they do that tonight? Because one goes, well, they got a limited time. Like, oh, Jesus, fuck.
Like, in a perfect world, they'd each have 10 minutes, but they're not going to have 10 minutes because with opening introductions, crosstalk, the questions from the moderators taking time. Each candidate will be lucky to get 6 minutes out of the deal.
Yeah, probably.
Before we go any further, I want to thank Sinatra for helping out tonight, because this is something I could not do on my own. My friend, thank you so much for making this possible.
Not a problem. And I want to thank Drunkle for helping me set up this OBS scene. He fixed the background for me, so thank you, Drunkle. I spent like 2 hours setting this scene up, by the way. I was so into doing it.
I like the little ghost poo up in the corner.
Yeah, I had to throw that in.
No, I don't blame you at all. Pimp yourself, man. Pimp yourself. I like the cigarette. That's something I relate to.
Yeah, I figured.
I want to know.
Use some smokes during the debate.
I want to know how these candidates are going to make it easier for me to smoke in the future.
Well, apparently not the ones in San Francisco, because they fucking banned the sale of e-cigarettes, but not regular cigarettes.
That's right.
Can we all thank Satsu for showing up? Yay!
Satsu, thank you for being here.
Yay!
Participation award for Satsu.
That's right.
Sinatra, I'm gonna tweet something at you. I'm gonna send it to you. And I want to. Can you bring this up on the screen for me?
Yeah.
I just need the picture, not the whole. I don't need the video to play. Because this made me laugh my ass off when I saw it. And it was entirely unintentional.
I know you guys have the stream up, but does it keep going down for you?
I'm showing perfect health, so
it keeps buffering for me. All right. Yeah, let me pull this up on screen. This is Elizabeth Warren talking.
Yeah, I just wanted that opening shot of her, because that it made me laugh.
I noticed she did the chest and fist thing.
You know,
I didn't watch the video.
She's the buzziest candidate tonight, I hear.
Do you notice the red all over the top of her face?
Stuck at a red light, maybe?
Are you making a racial implication, Monkey?
I'm suggesting that maybe she should use better camera lighting and stuff if she's going to be doing this, given her history of red facing.
Or she's drunk.
Well, we have seen her drink before. What does she have? A beer? Give me a beer,
right.
honey.
With her husband.
She's doing red face. Blatant red face, y'all.
Oh my God.
I feel like that's not good. Prospero says it's fine for us out here in TV land. Cool. So they're not having a problem.
Interesting.
And that's who's important.
Are you guys watching like on YouTube, or did you click the link that Sinatra sent?
It was in that link, but now it is not.
Yeah, the NBC thing died for me. I'll go back.
I'm watching on the My Circle thing. It's working just fine for me.
It?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, I wasn't on there anymore. Let me try that.
I am F5ing the My Circle.
Now, whenever this thing actually starts for us, we're gonna have to give people some kind of indication of where they can sync up if they're watching this in the future. That's the only.
Just find a copy of the debate. We're going off the what? The
only
NBC
the last
feed,
couple
right?
cycles in Nevada.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, My Circle is working. Look at that. Nope, and it's down.
No. Maybe they're being flooded.
It's fine as long as Sinatra doesn't watch it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was working this whole time, and then Sinatra went over there, and it was like, nope.
Wait, hold on. What about?
I said big drink.
Get the kitty cup, hush. I'm gonna get water too.
Okay, who would be streaming this that wouldn't be flooded? What about PBS? Maybe PBS has got a. I'm trying to think of like. Let's see, PBS NewsHour. Oh, for God's sakes!
I've got it up on Chrome from NBC.
Is it working on Chrome?
Yeah, I'm watching over on NBC.
Okay, I'll open up a Chrome window then. Let's try that on YouTube.
Yeah, on the tubs.
Yeah, that's where I'm watching it. MSNBC.
NBC
what is it?
debate.
NBC News.
NBC News live. Okay, live now. No, I got to sit through an ad.
Yeah, they're running those every so often here. That's okay.
Russell Crowe as Roger Ailes. Oh, for fuck's sake! Seriously. Whatever.
Yeah, I saw they were doing that the other day.
Okay.
Did we have any other fucketry going into tonight? Because the only thing I saw was that stupid ass hearing today, which wow, that was bad.
It was interesting though. It was really, I mean, aside from being bad, it was interesting to hear some of them actually be grilled and have to be put on the spot.
I got blocked by Carlos Mazza today.
Nice.
I had that happen. That happened last week.
He posted something about wanting to get Are the Donald shut down, and I quote tweeted it and said it's never enough, and he blocked me.
When did he tweet that out?
A couple days ago. But Are the Donald is shut down now.
I'd say that's one that just got hit today, isn't it?
Yep.
This fucking guy.
The fucketry I saw today was exactly what I predicted it was going to be, but much more blunt and straightforward than I anticipated. Beto O'Rourke said, and I quote, "Trump is responsible for these deaths," and then put a picture of the kids.
Oh, Jesus.
Of the kid and their dad. And I was just like, holy shit. That was like, I thought they were going to say something to the effect of it, or maybe allude that he is literally responsible. He went to the border. He said, "Hey, dude, I bet you can't swim across that river with your kid," and paid him to do it. And they died. And Trump was like, "Ha ha," and came back over here. And that's what happened, I guess.
Oh, I did have another bit of fucketry.
Before you get there, Limited Guide, thank you so much. Hey, Monkey, how's the stream going to work tonight? It's a work in progress. We'll be giving our advice on this stuff. Should I invite Shoe on Head 5K on her stream? No. And
someone should go spam this channel link on their stream.
Go tell her Ranting Monkey says hi. Rex says, I'd like to point out, if or when Elizabeth Warren makes it to Nevada, I can tell you as someone who lives here, the Paiute tribe will eat her alive. How do you say that? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I can't pronounce white people names. So you can check with the audience. Peyote?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. The Peyote tribe will eat her alive. What fucketry did you have there, Sinatra?
Oh, a guy called IMJ Station.
Oh God! Yes.
Oh right, yeah.
This dick.
He put out a video called "Etika, a Ouija board challenge at 3 a.m. gone wrong." So just whatever he can do to get Etika's name in a video title, right?
Have you seen this fucker before?
Never.
Anytime somebody big dies, he does this. He's done it with another YouTuber. I forgot who it was, but he also went to the suicide forest after Dipshit was there. Paiute says Prospero. Thank you.
Prospero's wrong.
I usually go with her because she's a lot smarter than I am. You should check out Lauren Chen's video later on Google. I watched part of her live stream. I can't watch her live streams. That guy she's with needs to move the mic the fuck away from his face. He is too goddamn loud compared to her.
You know, I got all in my feelings.
He has a booming voice, and hers is that little. He needs to move the mic about a foot away from his goddamn face. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got all in my feelings about poor video views, but then I looked over at hers and I felt better.
She was talking about at the beginning of her stream that they've seen that decline. It started with they used to get like, what'd she say, 40% of her views from recommended, and then went down to 25, and then from there it's just kept falling. Which is odd because she's made the same kind of content. Yeah, it's interesting.
Maybe that's what did it.
BG says, you say that like being smarter than you is hard. Shut up, BG. This isn't a game stream. You're not allowed to make fun of me, remember? You got to make fun of other people.
Just to make sure I'm on the same page, are you guys seeing like just a title card right now, just the first Democratic debate?
Actually, I'm seeing a...
It's like a 1984...
Yeah, looking back at a 1984 debate or something.
I will shoot you the link I'm using, Scribbles.
Yeah, because I'm on NBC News, just the approved channel on YouTube.
So,
and I'm
you
just
know
seeing
what?
a title.
I'm going to throw it in the chat, too. So here's
I never left my circle, so...
Maybe it's a regional thing or something.
I just put it into the main chat there, Scribbles.
Okay,
that's where I'm watching.
Yeah, when my circle went down, all I had to do was click play, and it started playing again. So
that was weird.
I'm not.
Yeah, for some reason, Sinatra can't be in my circle he set up.
Yeah, I know. Maybe. Let me try something. Well, I already edited the screen to not fit my circle. So, the chat says we see what Scribe sees. No, you see the picture I put up.
If you're talking about on our screen, yeah, we don't have anything playing on the screen. Yeah, it's just us talking right now.
It's just a picture.
Are we going to be able to have them on screen?
Take a look at the screen, Monkey. I will show you. Because I worked really hard on this too. Ta-da!
My screen didn't change.
Wait for that. Wait for that.
Is he talking on Hangouts or?
I'm not sure.
No, I see the stream. Look at the stream.
Okay, I'm looking at the
stream.
stream.
There we go. There we go. It just came up for me. Okay, cool.
Okay, I just see a debate sort of like frozen screen with all little cartoon pictures of people. Okay, there we go. That was an 1984 thing. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, and if I want, I just click this button and the cartoon people pop back up. It's just a placeholder. Okay.
Yeah, there's just a slight delay from what we see and what you do. Okay, not too bad. There you go, guys. That's what. So our commentary may be slightly delayed from what you see there, but you'll get the gist. Because let's be honest here. Let's take a vote. Chat. Press 1 if you think you're going to learn anything tonight. 2 if you think this is a giant waste of time. And gentlemen, I'm going to start with you. Scribbles, are we going to learn anything tonight?
I think out of the 10, at least 2 will bomb so hard they will not be able to recover after this first debate. At least 2.
Fair enough. Two bombing tonight. What about you, Satsu?
I think it's going to be a battle royale, and they're all going to lose.
Fortnite!
Sinatra, any bombshells you're looking for tonight?
I think Swalwell is going to eat shit so hard.
Oh, wait, is he on stage?
Oh, no, he's not on stage tonight, damn it.
Oh, fuck, that's tomorrow.
I think
that's tomorrow night.
Not Swalwell. Elizabeth Warren and Cory Booker are going to go at it a bit. And Beto O'Rourke is going to make himself look like a huge douche. And Tulsi Gabbard...
Corey's going to take the moment. Corey's got, this is his chance to do something interesting.
Tulsi Gabbard is not going to get the time she deserves.
If Beto doesn't kick somebody off stage at some point throughout this, then it was a total waste of time.
That's true.
Beto's too much of a noodle spine to do anything. He's going to capitulate to anybody who looks at him sideways.
This will be a win if Beto does a line on stage. That's Beto O'Rourke.
Just eat some magic dirt.
It's Beto O'Rourke.
Doesn't Beto O'Rourke look like somebody portraying a young Jeb Bush?
Kind of.
Am I just because I was watching an interview with him with The Root the other day, and I thought, if I had to cast a movie talking about the origins of the Bush family, and I had to find somebody to play a young Jeb Bush, Beto O'Rourke seems like he'd make the bill.
Yeah, I could see it.
Pincalo, thank you so much. He says it's going to be as thorough as today's hearing. Probably. No.
Well, there were multiple hearings today.
Yeah, there were.
Oh, sure. Yeah, but the main one we all talked about. Brian says Corey isn't on tonight. Yes, he is. Here's the lineup tonight. It is Bill de Blasio, and this is the way they'll be going from left to right, I believe it is. Bill de Blasio, Tim Ryan, Julian Castro, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, Beto O'Rourke, Amy Klobuchar, Tulsi Gabbard, Jay Inslee. Is it Inslee or Inslee? I can't remember. And John Delaney. So,
yeah, this was arranged by polling numbers. They mixed everybody up one after the other from the bottom of the polling numbers up to the top to make sure there was no quote unquote kids table debate.
I'm gonna put some sound through because they're getting on stage now.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I don't know that there's that.
Did you notice that Warren and Beto are in the middle?
Well, at least Malcolm's not in the middle.
See what you did there. They get to be. I mean, that's center stage. Beto gets to be center stage. Really?
Well, it doesn't mean much.
No, it doesn't.
It's the look, man. Look means a lot. Look means a lot. Don't forget the Kennedy debates, man.
and I'm looking forward to seeing what policies that he will actually try.
Yeah, there they are. There's our
as concise as possible.
Our lineup.
Everybody
make sure you make it done.
I got the sound piping through, so we're not going to have any dead air if we get to watch it a minute.
I think criminal justice reform. Which
Now the question is, are the levels enough that people can hear us and hear the debate at the same time?
Well, chat, let us know. Can you hear us and everyone else at the debate?
Let's see. They did male in. I would have thought they would have mixed up the females amongst the males a little bit. Like Warren might be over where Castro is and sort of split them up. Or is it alphabetical? I can't tell.
No, it's not alphabetical.
That's true.
I'm not sure how they did it. Look how tall Beto looks.
Well, okay, Beto and Inslee. Inslee is a fucking giant. He and Beto are like practically
talk about reproductive health care.
Matched on that.
I feel like 90% of this is going to be about race.
Oh, we're going to get a lot of environmentalism and dead kids at the border.
Yeah, immigration, environment, healthcare. Those are probably the three that are going to be the top billing. But of course, the candidates themselves will start talking about Trump and vilifying him at the same time.
We're being told the debate's a little bit quiet. I don't know how much.
I think that these candidates.
I don't know how much we want to turn it up. We can turn it up a little, but we still want to be able to hear us. So, I think Corey should have come out dressed like Spartacus.
I don't think Corey's on here tonight. I think the brown guy is Julian Castro.
Which is interesting because I think
no, Corey's right there.
He's right there.
Hopefully the
he's next to Warren.
Election.
He's actually between Castro and Warren.
He's the brown Lex Luthor. How can you miss him?
Oh yeah, look at that.
He's the darker of the brown ones.
I think Julian is darker than he is.
Actually, he might be because Corey is a light-skinned man.
Are there any other issues that we should look out for or listen for that maybe haven't been?
I still think Corey is like just waiting for his moment. I honestly think Corey's got the best story and the best energy.
He does.
He might not have the best self-control, but I think if there had to be a matchup between two people, him and Trump would be a really entertaining debate.
I think he needs better handlers because that Spartacus moment thing was just freaking retarded.
Yeah, that's long enough ago now that hopefully he's got some advice and maybe he's metered himself a little bit, or at least been able to direct his energy somewhere more productive.
But is this going to be an opening night about style? I mean, are these candidates going to try to grab those tomorrow morning headlines?
Well, they haven't started the actual debate itself.
Everyone agrees on that.
Random Goon donated $2. Says just because Snoop kicks ass. Plus, I recently got one sexy ass Android 18 figure. Enjoy.
What is with this drunk cameraman?
Did you see what so
you guys know what would make this fucking amazing? If right before they got ready to start the debates, they were like, administer the truth serum.
And also now,
and it's a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Thank you, Mash. Did you see Tariq's tweet practically celebrating the dog the bounty hunter's wife passed away? Yeah, I did. It was.
I killed the debate
disgusting.
audio.
Fuck that. Yeah, people watching in the future, depending on how the sound levels work out, where we can still be heard, you might have to sync up the video of the debate on your own with the video that we've got displayed.
Don't worry. What we're going to say is more important than anything they're going to say. I promise you that. I promise you. It's 9 o'clock. It is time for the show to begin. And of course, they're still just chatting.
Midnight in Exile keeps saying, duck the sound, duck the sound. I don't know what that is. I am limited to OBS.
Duck it means that when one of us starts talking, the other sound goes down.
Yeah, how the fuck do you do?
Sir Wolfgang, thank you. Every time they mention Trump, Russia, take a shot. Don't kill people.
There you go. Democrat debate starting soon. Yeah, the cameraman's kind of floating all over the place.
What the hell is he doing?
Here we go.
Now this is still just a fucking...
Now I've got it. I've got Lester Holt talking to me.
Yeah,
do you?
And you can see now nobody's on stage, so this is obviously pre-recorded.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good, Rachel Maddow. Oh boy.
Oh yay, Maddow.
She brought her problematic glasses.
Of course she did.
That's all she owns.
Yeah.
Oh damn it! I have an ad playing because I had to refresh.
New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, and now my feed dies again. God damn it.
Oh, there it is.
Is just so hot.
Okay. I just got an ad for Ancestry.com when Warren is going to be up here. Is that funny? Oh, Decision 2020.
Oh my God.
Oh my God! Did you see those pictures they just used?
Okay, my feed keeps my stream keeps cutting out. Like they're overloaded or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that happened.
Mine is perfectly fine.
Yeah, mine's good. Mine's good. So
I'm gonna have to open up on Chrome. Maybe that'll make a difference.
Yeah, no, it kept dying out for me on
Firefox.
I think we're starting. Let me type the audio through.
What's that chick in the middle?
I don't
Tonight
know.
we're going to take on many of the most pressing
She's almost too hot to be on NBC.
The situation unfolding at
They like ugly chicks here.
and the treatment of migrant children.
Like the guy on the left.
Oh yeah, migrant children.
Climate change, and of course, we'll talk about the economy.
How can your mouth be so big and you have no lips?
Rules of the road before we begin.
How does that work?
Is she wearing the same outfit that Cortez did at the border?
I don't know. Does she have white jeans on?
I can't tell. She's not standing up anymore.
They're saying there's no debate audio.
There we go. They can't.
We're getting it.
They have no patience. They're fucking awful people.
Of course.
Who's
that dude on the end just looked really douchey.
Yeah, who's the guy on the far right of the moderators?
I don't know.
I don't know. He looks like he's got an eraser for a head.
All right, so
The only one I know is Lester Holt, and dear
God,
God, where
we'll start this evening with
his
Senator
hairline
Elizabeth
is
Warren.
receding like
Senator,
hell.
I would just shave it off at that point.
Okay.
You have many plans: free college, free childcare, government health care, cancellation of student debt, new taxes, new regulations, the breakup of major corporations. But this comes at a time when 71% of Americans say the economy is doing well, including 60% of Democrats. What do you say to those who worry this kind of significant change?
What about where are you getting the money?
Wait.
I think of it this way. Who is this economy really working for?
The people with jobs.
Thinner slice at the top. It's doing great.
The evil 1%.
Oh yeah, it's doing great for everybody where the unemployment rate is the lowest it's been in 50 fucking years.
No, man. That's just drug companies.
Only corporations.
The other guy's from Telemundo, apparently.
What?
Oh, okay.
That's why they're bringing up the border.
It's doing great for giant oil companies that want to drill everywhere.
The rest of us? Really?
Watching climate change bear down upon us.
Pocahontas is one of us, you guys.
When you've got an economy that does great,
I'm sure she's worried about her YouTube check next month.
Isn't doing great
Yeah,
for
that's why she's
everyone
watching
else
us right now.
that is
The economy does great for those with money. No, it does great for people who have fucking jobs, which has actually been up for the last 6 months.
Oh, God. Government, in our economy, and in our country.
But she said nothing. Gobbledygook nonsense.
You called programs like free college something you might do if you were, quote, a magic genie.
Oh, here we go.
To be blunt,
Is this the one that
does
she eat salad with a fork? Is this her?
No, with her comb.
Her comb, sir.
Giving your
Everyone eats salad with a fork.
people
sorry,
sense
I'm
of what's
slightly
actually
pepperjacked.
achievable.
She's the one that's mean to her staff.
We know that not everyone is sharing
Had her
in this
fucking
prosperity, and Donald
announcement
Trump just
party in
sits
a
the White House
snowstorm.
and gloats
There we
about
go.
what's
Orange
going
man
on
bad.
when you have so many people that are having trouble affording college and having trouble affording their premiums. So I do get
She looks like she should be
about paying for college
yelling at kids in a
for rich
school
kids.
office somewhere.
I do, but I think my plan.
Are you saying she's a recess teacher?
Would be to first of all,
And I was thinking more the administrator for the principal.
and make sure that everyone
taking it on the side a little bit.
besides, that top percentile.
Tulsi had a little bit of gray hair there. That's kind of distinguishing.
My own
I
dad
like it.
and my sister
That's cute.
got their first degrees with
And almost looks like
community
something-
college. There's many
Looks like she
paths to
could be a
success,
catch,
as well as
but
certifications. Secondly,
for like
use
a-
If you've had as many drinks as Scribe has,
I was gonna say for like maybe a
$6,000
middle school
and
principal
expand
or
it to
a
the number
Subway
of families
franchise
that get
owner.
covered,
Yeah.
to families that make up to $100,000. And then the third thing I would
Angry
do is
Illinoisan
make it
says, somebody
easier
ask a tough
for
question.
students
We
to pay
are.
off
The
their
moderators
student
aren't going
loans.
to.
Because I can tell you this, if billionaires can pay off their yachts,
Yeah,
students should
you
be
know,
able to
If
pay off
billionaires
their
can
loans.
pay off
That's
their
fine,
yachts,
thank you.
students should be able to pay off.
Congressman O'Rourke.
Uh-oh. He's up.
What we've just been
Straight up.
discussing and talking about is how much fundamental change to the economy is desirable and how much is actually doable. In that vein, some Democrats want a marginal individual tax rate of 70% on the very highest earners, those making more than $10 million a year.
70%.
Would you support that? And if not, what would your top individual rate be?
Now watch everyone who makes over 10 million.
This economy has got to work for everyone. And right now, we know that it is.
Ever want to hear a non-answer?
It's going to take all of
Listen
us
close.
coming together to make sure that it does. Necesitamos incluir
Oh, for
de esta economía. Pero si
somebody tell me I say fuck you in Spanish. Guacamole. Guacamole you.
Cada votar.
You apple polishing asshole.
You see Corey, look at him. I think Corey just embodied all of us right there.
Holy fuck. That's how you explain an economy that is rigged to corporations and to the very wealthiest. A $2 trillion tax cut that favored corporations while they were sitting on record piles.
She asked about individual tax rates, you dick.
Oh my God, Corey, that was hilarious.
A new democracy.
If you watch the interview with the Root, this is all he does. Is this nonsense, circuitous, ridiculous stuff that has nothing to do with the question asked.
Voting Rights Act to get rid of the barriers.
The Voting Rights Act.
We each have a voice in our democracy.
What the fuck are you talking about?
That's time, sir. I'll give you 10 seconds to answer. If you want to answer the direct question, would you support 70% marginal tax rate? Yes, no, or pass?
I would support a tax rate.
I'll give you 10 seconds, you silly motherfucker.
Oh no!
The same rate that you tax ordinary income. Take that corporate tax rate up to 28%. You would generate the revenues you need to pay for.
Way to make yourself look like an idiot.
Thank you.
Let's actually answer the question.
Senator Booker, there is a debate in this party right now about the role of corporations, as you know. Senator Warren, in particular, put out a plan to break up tech companies like Facebook, Amazon, and Google.
Oh boy.
You've said we should not, quote, be running around pointing at companies and breaking them up without any kind of process. Why do you disagree?
I don't think I disagree. I think we have a serious problem in our country with corporate consolidation. And
you want
see
to break
the
up the
evidence of that in how dignity is being stripped from labor. And we have people that work full-time jobs and still can't make a living wage. We see that because consumer prices are being raised by pharmaceutical companies that often have monopolistic holds on drugs. And you see that by just the fact that this is actually an economy that's hurting small businesses and not allowing them to compete. One of the most aggressive bills in the Senate to deal with corporate consolidation is mine about corporate consolidation in the ag sector. So I feel very strongly about the need to check the corporate consolidation and let the free market work. And I'll tell you this. I live in a low-income black and brown community. I see every single day that this economy is not working for average Americans. The indicators that are being used from
Lamented guy, thank you. $25 says you or Scribbles pops a blood vessel.
Helping people in my community.
I'm the one here
it
with
is about
blood
time that we have an economy that works for everybody.
Okay, Corey, you have to at least acknowledge the economy is good and then show your contrast with Trump. You can't just say everything sucks. It doesn't.
As Senator Warren has briefly. Why is that?
Well, again, I will single out companies like Halliburton or Amazon that pay nothing.
Then don't go after the companies, go after the tax code.
And when it comes to antitrust law, what I will do is
they're not paying. They're not paying taxes because they're cheating. They're following the laws that you guys are in charge of trying to pass.
This kind of corporate concentration.
And if you become president, you're not going to be able to just like presidential fiat change the tax code. You're going to have to go through the same process as everybody else.
Washington. It's about
he was asked about breaking up companies.
Fights for the people in this
and his answer is they're not paying enough taxes.
Someone that's a champion for them.
Now, he started answering it at the beginning, and then in the follow-up, he dropped it.
Are you picking winners and losers?
Oh, I just lost the feed itself.
The way I understand is there is way too much consolidation now in giant industries in this country.
I think I just lost everything.
That hurts
Hello?
workers, it hurts small businesses, it hurts independent farmers, it hurts our economy overall, and it helps constrict
real you want to prevent mergers and acquisitions of companies.
Look, we've had the laws
Does she have Parkinson's?
For a long time to be able to fight back.
I don't think so.
What's been missing is
Why is she moving like that?
Courage in Washington to take
she might be
on
cold.
the giants.
She's tiny.
That's part of the corruption in this system. It has been far too long that the monopolies have been making campaign contributions.
To be fair, it's probably frigid as fuck in there. You see how many old people in there?
Have been out there making sure
well, all
that
the men have suit jackets on, so it's probably air conditioning.
Single decision that gets made.
I wonder if they got the air set on patriarchy.
I want to start
obviously.
Is I want to return government to the people, and that means
the temperature is set to
sexism. The monopolists and saying I have the courage
What's
to go
missing
after
is
them.
Thank you.
What's missing is courage. She'll come at it like.
I want to hear Jay Inslee talk because I want to fall asleep real quick.
Democrats have been talking about the pay gap for decades. What would you do to ensure
who the fuck is that?
are paid fairly in this
country.
country.
The pay gap. Okay, the wage
Thank
gap.
you very
Here we go.
much for that question, Lester. You know, I grew up with a mother who raised
he just
my
looks
brother Joaquin
bad.
and me as a single parent. And I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to
stop thanking him for the question.
And to worry about whether you're going to be able to pay the rent at the first of the month. And to see a
that's
mom
got nothing to do with the wage gap. Address the wage
that
gap,
moms across this country are getting paid less simply because they're women.
No,
I would do
Julian.
things, starting with something we should have done a long
Look,
time ago.
he knows.
to pass
His
the
mom
Equal
raised
Rights
him, so he
Amendment.
knows exactly what it's like.
Okay, Julian, I agree with you. Pass the equal rights and pass the ERA. It's got fuck all to do with equal pay. That's already been passed in fucking 1963, Julian. What the fuck are you talking about?
That we did that. And
Jared's asked if Yang's here. No, Yang is on tomorrow night.
prosperous nation in the 21st century.
Yeah, Yang and Biden and all those guys.
What they deserve.
All right, thank you. I want to put the same question to Congresswoman Gabbard. Your thoughts on equal pay?
Tulsi.
No, first of all, let's recognize the situation we're in.
Christ.
The American people deserve a president
this hurts my
who
head.
put your
He should have
interests
asked her,
ahead
how
of
does
the
it
rich
feel
and
to be
powerful.
paid less than
That's
everybody
not
else
what we
here?
have right now.
My God.
Yeah, no shit.
I enlisted in the Army National Guard after the Al-Qaeda
You know, with that
terror
Whitener here,
on
she reminds me of
9/11.
two different
So I can
fictional
go after
characters.
those who
One
had attacked
is
us on that day. I still
Vanessa
served as a
Fitz,
major,
the wife of the
served
Kingpin
over
in comic
16
books.
years, deployed
And the other
twice
one
in the Middle
is,
East,
I
and
forget
in
her name off the top of my head. She was like
on the
a
Foreign
Star
Affairs and Armed
Wars
Services Committees for over 6
villain
years.
who had like, she
know
was
the
like
importance of our
commander
national
after
security, as
Palpatine
well as
died.
the
She
terribly
had a
high
red
cost
outfit
of
of
war. And for too long, our leaders have failed us, taking us from one regime
She looks like
change
her.
war to the next, leading us into
She
a
should have
new
came in
Cold
her
War and
wetsuit with
arms
a
race,
surfboard.
costing us trillions of our hard-earned taxpayer dollars and countless lives.
What?
This insanity must end. As president,
What are you
I will
talking
take
about?
your hard-earned taxpayer
Yeah,
dollars
Tulsi, you're
and
not
instead
answering
invest
the
those
question.
dollars into serving your needs. Things like health care, a green economy, good-paying jobs, protecting our environment.
I'm going to take your money and
so
invest
much
it
more.
in your needs. Sorry,
Also,
sweetheart.
I'm going to buy you a kitchen sink.
You're the mayor
How about
of
I'm not
biggest
going to
city
take your
in the
money and
United
let you
States,
spend
but
it
it's
your
also
way?
one of the cities in the country
Gotta kind of
with
respect
the
that she wore
greatest
red.
gap between the wealthy and the poor. How would you address income?
I'm surprised they're all not wearing red with a little
we've
bit of
been
yellow.
addressing income inequality in New York City by raising wages, by raising benefits, by putting money back in the hands of working people.
Is de Blasio pregnant? He had a baby bump.
Paid sick days, pre-K
but
for all
he's-
things that
he's,
are making a huge difference in
promoting
working
the,
people's
raising
lives.
the minimum
But let me
wage.
tell you what we're hearing here already in the first round of questions is that battle for the heart and soul of our party. I want to make it clear.
I'm waiting for somebody to just like throw out the script and just say, "Fuck it, I'm going to do good shit. And here's how I'm going to do it." You know, just do it. Pull a total Trump.
We're supposed
I'm
to
waiting for
free
somebody to pull a Trump.
college, free public college for our young people. We are supposed to break
He's
up big
calling him out.
corporations when they're not serving our democracy. This Democratic Party has to be strong and bold and progressive. And in New York, we've proven
Strong, bold, and
that we can
progressive
do
don't go
something very
together.
different.
Sorry.
We can put money back in the hands of working people. And let me tell you, every time you talk about investing in people and their communities, you hear folks say there's not enough money.
Not
What I
supposed to
say to
look
them
right
every
at the
single
camera.
time is there's plenty of money in this world. There's plenty of money in this country. It's just in the wrong hands.
Oh, so we
Those
need to just
Democrats have to fix
redistribute
that.
everybody's wealth. Okay, so yeah, okay. Thanks.
I
Bill.
told you these people are nothing but fucking commies. They're not Democrats. They're not social Democrats. They're fucking commies.
We need to make
Who the
sure
hell
everyone
is
has a living
this?
wage.
This
And I'm calling for
is
a doubling of the earned income
Tim
tax
Ryan.
credit,
Who the
raising
fuck?
the minimum
John
wage, and
Delaney.
creating
I didn't
paid
even know he
family
was
leave. That will
right.
create a situation
John
where
Delaney.
people
Why did that's
actually
not where
have
he's
a living
supposed to be
wage.
standing.
That gets
You know, he
right
reminds
to
me.
workers.
He looks
Then
like
we
a
gotta fix our
character
public
actor I see
education
on
system.
TV shows.
It's
I don't know
not
the guy's
delivering the
name.
results
But
our kids needs, nor is college and post-high school
Wait, that's supposed to be
career and
Tim
technical
Ryan.
training programs doing that.
Tim
You know, I'm
Ryan.
very different than everyone else here on the
Oh,
stage.
no, other side of
Prior
the
to being in
stage.
Congress, I was an entrepreneur. I started two
Oh yeah,
businesses.
okay. I thought he was
created
next to
thousands
De
of
Blasio.
jobs.
My
I
bad.
spent my
Here,
whole
Monkey, I'm going to
career
send you the
helping small
lineup
and
I
mid-sized
have.
businesses all over the country.
Oh, I have the lineup right here.
5,000
I just thought he was
of
next to
I
De Blasio.
supported.
That's
The
all.
Obama
I screwed up.
administration gave me an award for lending to disadvantaged
Delaney's all the way on the
communities.
far right.
I know how to create jobs. We need a
You know how
short-term
to create
strategy,
jobs.
which is to put
Okay.
money in the pockets of workers.
Oh,
with
that one's
guaranteed
even
tax
worse.
credit, raising the minimum wage.
Okay,
The
well,
Obama
okay.
administration
And then
gave
we
me
need to
a.
have a long-term strategy
Tell me
to
how
make sure
Trump's
this country is
administration has
competitive,
not
and
been
we're creating
creating
jobs
jobs.
everywhere in this
I mean,
country.
if you're going to contrast yourself and you have to say something to the effect, I can create more jobs than Trump because of X, Y, Z.
And we got to realize the people
Oh,
who
it's
brought
the
us
guy
the
with the
weekend,
personality of a dead gnat.
unions are going to bring us a long,
Jay.
overdue
I'm a governor.
days in America. And I'm proud of standing up for unions.
No,
We've got a plan
you
to
lying
reinvigorate
shit.
Collective bargaining so
Oh,
we can
this is
increase
such a
wages
lie that
finally.
unions always
I
tell.
marched with the SEIU
They gave us
folks.
the
It is
weekend.
not
No,
right
they
that the
jumped on
CEO
board
of
after it was
McDonald's
already a
makes
movement
2,100
and was almost already a
times
thing.
more than the people
Stop it.
slinging hash at McDonald's. And the next
Slinging
thing I'll do is
hash.
put people to work.
You know, Jay
in the
might be
jobs
the
of
most
present and
risk-taking
future.
of the group
Look it,
because he's so
Donald
far down on
Trump
the
is
totem pole, he's got
simply
nothing to
wrong.
lose by going
He
nuts.
says wind turbines cause
Maybe.
cancer.
It puts people to
we
work.
know they cause jobs. And we know that we can put millions of people to work in the clean energy jobs of the future. Carpenters, IBEW
They cause
members,
jobs.
machinists.
Okay,
We're
you
doing it
understand,
right
Jay,
today.
the
And then we
clean
can
energy
do
you're
what
talking
America
about will
always
require the
does.
burning of
Lead the
coal.
world and
Do you
invent
not
the
understand
future and
that?
put
The
people to
building
work.
of the
That's what we're
machines
gonna do.
themselves to build these
President
things.
Trump, and you just referred to him, promised that manufacturing jobs were all coming
He
back.
looks like the
to
mad
places
drunk
like
guy at the bar.
your home
He looks
state
like a
of
deer in the
Ohio.
headlights.
Can you make that same promise?
somebody's ass.
Yes, I believe you can.
Is he
But
high
first,
on
let's say the
PCP?
president came, he said, don't
Maybe.
sell your house to people in Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh, Tim Ryan.
And
That's
his
Tim Ryan. I don't even know who
administration,
this guy
just in the
looks
last
like.
2 years, we
Oh,
lost
yeah, he's from here.
$4,000 jobs at a General Motors facility. That rippled throughout our community. General Motors got a
It looks
tax
like a guy I'd
cut.
see at a car
General
dealership.
Motors got a bailout. And then they have the audacity to move a new car that they're going to produce to Mexico. I've had family members
Audacity.
that have to
The audacity. Don't you want people in Mexico to have
factory
jobs so
floor,
they don't have to come
put it
here?
in a box and ship it to China. My area where I come from in Northeast Ohio, this issue we're talking about here, it's been going on 40 years.
Hi,
this
Lady
is
Monkey.
not a new phenomenon in the United States of America. The bottom 60%
10
are getting
assholes.
a
Monkey's
raise
watching gay
since
porn.
1980. Meanwhile, the top 1% control 90% of the
Love you,
wealth.
sweetie.
We need
Night,
an
Lady
industrial
Monkey.
policy saying
Say good
we're
night.
going to dominate building electric vehicles. There's going to be 30 million made in the next 10 years. I want half of them made in the United States. I want to dominate the solar industry.
Thank you.
How much
Manufacture
pollution
those
is that going to
things.
create, Tim?
These idiots always
Coming
talk
back
about
for these
they
jobs.
control the wealth.
So we've had an industrial policy in the United States for decades now.
That's
It's
not just-
basically
Here
been
she
let
goes.
giant
Your hand.
corporations do whatever they want to do. Giant corporations have exactly
This is her
one
third time
loyalty,
getting
and
to
that is
speak.
to profit.
I know, she's got-
And if they can
she
save a
and,
nickel by
um,
moving a job to Mexico or
Booker
to Asia
so
or to
far have
Canada,
gotten, like,
they're going to do
lots
it.
of time.
So here's what I propose for an industrial policy. Start with a place where there's a real
I wonder
need.
who their
There's
candidate
going to
is,
be a
guys.
worldwide
Well, she is
need
the
for green
buzziest, you know,
technology,
as
ways
says
to
Oh, I
clean
saw
up the air,
Saliza
ways
said
to
that
clean up the
today.
water.
He's the buzziest
And
candidate.
we can be the
What the
ones
fuck
to
does that even
provide
mean?
that. We need to go
The one that's being talked
tenfold
about the most.
in
Yeah,
our
that's it.
research and
Because-
development on green energy.
What, did you see his little
going
graph?
forward. And then we need to
No,
say,
or with the Google
any
thing?
corporation can
Yeah, he had a
come
graph
and
that
use
showed that
research.
Andrew Yang
They
is
can
set
make
to
all kinds of
explode,
products
y'all.
from it.
So
But
if you're a
they have
Yang
to be
fan, look forward to it.
manufactured right here in
Wait,
the
the Yang
United
Wang's
States
gonna go
of
bang?
America.
Us.
And then
If
we
you
have
guys
to
haven't
double
seen,
down
look
and
at the like
sell
to
it
dislike
around the
ratio.
world. There's a $23
Jeez.
trillion
itself, yeah.
market coming.
5.8
for green
thousand
products.
dislikes to 4.8
We should be the
upvotes.
leaders and the owners, and we should have that
Add
1.2
my
million manufacturing jobs.
There's people on the stage who haven't had a chance to talk yet, isn't
We're
there?
going to turn
Am
to the
am
issue
I
of
think they've
healthcare
gotten
right
to
now. Really trying
everybody
to understand
once
where there may
now.
or may not be
Elizabeth
daylight
Warren's got like 3
between you.
turns at the
Many people
wheel.
watching at
Yes,
home have
it's her
health
third.
insurance coverage through their
Healthcare, here we go.
Who
Yay.
here would abolish their private health insurance in favor of a government-run plan? Just a show of hands.
Oh.
Start off with. Senator Klobuchar, let me put the question to you. You're one of the Democrats who wants to keep private insurance in addition to a government health care plan. Why is an incremental approach, in your view, better than a sweeping overhaul?
Well, I think it's a bold approach. It's something that Barack Obama wanted to do when we were working on the Affordable Care Act, and that is a public option. I am just simply concerned about kicking half of America off of their health insurance in 4 years, which is exactly what this bill says. So let me go on beyond that. There's a much bigger issue in addition to that, and that is pharmaceuticals.
If you like it,
the
you can keep
president
it.
literally went on TV on Fox and said that people's heads would spin when they see how much he would bring down pharmaceutical prices. Instead, 2,500 drugs have gone up in double digits since he came into office.
Silverman says Lester Holt looks like he
$100
cross-dresses
billion
as Medea.
to the pharma companies. For the rest of us, for the rest of America, that's what we call at home, all foam and no beer. We got nothing out of it.
And
so my
beer.
proposal is to do something about pharma, to take them
Yeah,
on,
if you were from
to allow
Texas, you say all hat,
negotiation
no
under
cattle,
Medicare,
I'd
to bring in
take
less
it, but
expensive
otherwise-
drugs from other countries. And pharma thinks they own Washington. Well, they don't own me.
Don't own me.
Yeah.
Senator Warren, you signed on to Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All plan. It would put essentially
again?
everybody on Medicare and then
God
eliminate
damn.
private plans that offer similar coverage. Is that the plan or path that you would pursue as president?
So yes, I'm with Bernie on Medicare for all. And let me tell you why. I spent a big chunk of my life studying why families go broke. And one of the #1 reasons is the cost of health care, medical bills.
I can't think of a single person I know who pays their medical bills.
It's for people who have insurance.
Well, now,
Look at
I've
the
always said
business
the one thing that I
model of
really,
insurance
really
companies.
detest
It's to
is
bring
people
in
going
as many
bankrupt over getting
dollars as they
sick.
can
I don't
in
know what the answer to
premiums
that is,
and
but
to
if somebody
pay
can
out
offer
as
up a
few
reasonable
dollars
answer
as
to prevent
possible
that,
for your
I'm all
health
for
care.
it. I don't know if these guys
That
have that
leaves
answer.
families with rising premiums, rising co-pays. and
Thank you,
fighting
Lamented
with
Guide.
insurance
Government
companies to
HC
try to get the
sucks.
health
I've
care
worked on
that their doctors
VA's
say that
crappy
they
equipment.
and their children need. Medicare for all
Healthcare.
solves that problem. And I understand.
And
There are
VA,
a lot
I'm
of
sure, is the
politicians
Veterans
who say,
Administration.
Oh, it's just not possible. We just can't do it. It's have a lot of political
No, it
reasons
doesn't.
for this. What they're really telling you is they just won't fight for it. Well, health care is a basic human right, and I will fight for basic human rights.
Congressman O'Rourke, when you ran for Senate, you also praised.
Thank you, Old Grouchy Gamer. Lizzie again. The fix is in. You think?
No sure. Can you explain why?
My goal is to ensure that every American is well enough to live to their full potential because they have health care. In Laredo, Texas, I met
Nobody
a
cares
young
about
man,
your stories.
27 years old.
In the
Told me that he'd
streets
been to a
of
doctor once in his
Laredo.
life, and on that visit, he was
Hey,
told he had
Junko, how you doing,
diabetes,
man?
He was told he had glaucoma, and he was told untreated because he doesn't have health care.
Junko asked who
he'll be
the
dead
Yoda-looking
before
bitch is.
the
You
age
got to be
of
more
40.
specific on this stage.
Getting to
Probably
guaranteed,
Warren
high-quality,
or
universal
Klobuchar.
health care as quickly and surely as possible has to be our goal. The ability to afford your prescriptions and go to a primary care provider. The ability to see a mental health care provider. In Texas, the single largest provider of mental health
Every
care
time I look at him, I
services
think
is
of
the
somebody
county jail
standing in front of a
system
class reading
today.
a book report.
And healthcare also has to mean that every woman can make her own decisions about her own body.
Oh,
and
did
has
he just go
access to
abortion
care
on
that
us?
makes
He
that
did.
possible.
Yep, he got an abortion.
Says that if
It
you're
is health care.
uninsured,
It
we
technically
enroll you in
falls under the
Medicare.
rubric.
If you're
so.
insufficiently insured, you can't afford your premiums, we enroll you in Medicare.
He's not wrong in
But
that
if you're
regard.
a member of a
It's a bit of a
union
stretch
that
for the
negotiated
question.
for a health care plan that you like because it works for you and your family,
Shut
you're
up.
able to keep
Time
it.
is
You
up,
preserve
stupid.
choice
You got
by
10
making sure
seconds
that
to answer the
everybody-
question for
Time is up,
reals.
Congressman, but I do want to ask a follow-up on this one. Just to be very clear, I'll give you 10 seconds. Would you replace private insurance?
No, I think that choice is fundamental to our ability to get everybody care for.
Private insurance is not working for tens of millions of
Uh-oh.
Americans. When you talk about the
Crosstalk.
co-pays, the
De
deductibles,
Blasio
the
just
premiums,
jumped
the
in. He
out-of-pocket
don't give a fuck.
expenses,
He's
it's
not.
working.
He ain't got no chance.
That's
How
right.
can you
So
defend
He's got
those
nothing to
when it's
lose.
not
Instin's got
working?
nothing to lose.
They can choose Medicare. For the culinary workers in
you
Nevada
got to
who I
start by
listened to,
acknowledging
who
the system
negotiated
is
for those
not working
plans,
for people.
they're able to keep them.
Why are you
100 million
defending private
Americans
insurance?
say they like their private health insurance, by the way. It should be noted that 100 million Americans. I mean, I think we should be the party that keeps what's working and fixes
bitch
what's
slap.
broken. Doesn't it make sense? I mean, we should give
shit.
everyone in this country health care as a basic human right for free. Full stop. But we should also give them the option to buy private insurance. Why do we have to stand for taking away something from people? And also, it's bad policy. If you go to every hospital in this country
Jack Cochran says,
and you ask them one
I bet the
question,
government has a
which is
surplus
how
of
would it have
old
been
coat
for you
hangers
last
for that
year
free health care.
if every one of your bills were paid at the Medicare rate?
Damn.
Every single hospital administrator said they would close. And the Medicare for All bill requires payments to stay at current Medicare rates. So to some extent, we're basically supporting a bill that will have every hospital closed. I mean, my dad was a union electrician.
Nobody cares about your
right?
parents.
I actually grew up in a
I don't care about
working-class
your
family.
dad, dude.
He loved
You were
the
almost on a
healthcare
roll
that
there
the
for a second. Then you gotta
IBEW
go up in
gave
La
him.
La Land.
And I just always think about my dad and anything I would do.
You're gonna start
from a
crying
policy
about your dad,
perspective.
aren't you?
He'd look at
My
me
dad
and he'd
used to
say,
do a
"Good
thing
job, John, for getting
My dad
healthcare
used
for
to beat
everybody."
me.
But why are you taking
you
my
stick a
healthcare
belt
plan
to my
away?
butt.
Because I'm fascinated to hear
He's
the
not
daylight
thinking about poor
between you.
Julian Castro over there who didn't know his
Congressman Gabbard,
dad. Come on, man.
I think we're talking about this in the wrong way.
Thank
You're
you,
talking about
Rex.
one bill over
I was
another
waiting
bill.
for them to
Really
go
what we're
after
talking
each
about
other.
Is our objective,
Yeah.
making sure that every single sick
Oh,
American
Tulsi.
in this country is able to get the health care that they need. I believe Medicare for All is the way to do that. I also think that employers will recognize how much money will be saved by supporting a Medicare for All program, a program that will reduce
You know
the
who one of the
administrative
biggest
costs,
supporters of
reduce the
Obamacare was?
bureaucratic costs, and make sure that everyone gets that quality
Walmart.
health care.
Because it took the burden off of them to have to provide any.
I was just about to say, it's like, yeah, the employers would love there to be a public option that they don't have to pay into, and they can just dodge the question.
Of private insurance. I think that's what we've got to look at, taking the best of these ideas.
Oh, is anybody watching Trump's Twitter timeline? No, I forgot all about him live.
The care that they need, regardless of how much or little money they have in their pocket.
Congresswoman, thanks. Let me turn to Senator Booker on this. Senator Booker, explain to me where you are. This
Better
is
get it right,
hugely
Corey.
important to people, so tell us where you are.
I absolutely will. First of all, we're talking about this as a healthcare issue, but in communities like mine, low-income communities like mine, it's an education issue because kids who don't have health care are not
bull
going to
fucking
succeed
shit?
in school.
He lives in
It is
some
an
low-income
issue for
area.
jobs and employment because people that do not have good health care do not succeed at work. It's even a retirement issue because in my community, African Americans have a lower life expectancy because of poorer health care. And so where I stand is very clear.
good health care, you'd have two
Health care
working
is not
eyes.
just a human right, it should be an American right. And I believe the best way to get there is Medicare for all. But I have an urgency about this. When I am president of the United States, I'm not going to wait. We have to do the things immediately that are going to provide better care. And on this debate, I'm sorry. There are too many people profiteering off of the pain of people in America, from pharmaceutical companies to insurers. Literally, the overhead
I'm
for
curious to know
insurers,
how
they
much
charge
money
us
Booker has
15%,
taken from
while
pharmaceutical
Medicare's
companies and campaign
overhead is
donations
only
over
at
the last several
2%.
years.
We can do this better. And
I wonder how
every
many
single
donations he's
day
gotten
I'll be
from people
fighting
who
to give
need
people
health
more
care, and
access
he's
and more
promised them
affordable
the
costs
moon.
until we get to my goal, which is every American.
Uh-oh, they all want to jump in.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, they all, I mean, they're okay. Elizabeth, shut the fuck
Insurance
up.
companies
Oh, my
last
God.
year alone sucked $23 billion in profits out of the healthcare system. $23 billion, and that doesn't
That's
count
nothing.
the money that was paid to executives, the money that was spent
Oh, for
lobbying
God's sakes.
Washington. We have a giant industry that wants our healthcare system to stay the way it is, because it's not working for families, but it's sure as heck working for
Insurance companies are limited on what kind of profits they can make by the government, you twat.
Not be an option in the United States of America for any insurance company.
What's with the drunk
deny
guy?
women coverage for their exercise of their right of choice.
It's not a right.
Here who has passed a law protecting a woman's right of reproductive
Oh,
health and health
look at
insurance.
Klobuchar smiling.
And I'm the
at-
only candidate who has passed a public option. And I respect
Look, every
everybody's
woman
goals
I
and
knock
plans
up, I
here.
make sure she gets
But
an
we do have
abortion.
one candidate that's actually advanced the ball. And we got to have access
I want to make
for
sure
everyone
abortions are
on
available
Denver's
so I don't have any more
side.
kids.
Senator Klobuchar, I want to get you. I'm fascinated by this, Senator Klobuchar.
I just want to say there's three
Oh,
women
fuck
up here
off.
that have fought pretty hard for women's rights.
Oh,
So I'll
Fuck
I think we share the goal
Can we get some
of universal
snaps for her?
health care.
Oh, my God.
The idea I put out there, the public option.
Oh,
which
dear
the
God.
The
government
idea
just
that
talked
you
about, this
put
idea
out there?
is that you use
Oh, yeah, that's
Medicare
never been thought of
or
before.
Medicaid without any insurance companies involved.
My
You can do it
God.
either way. And
Remember when I
estimates are
invented the
13
internet,
million
Al
people
Gore?
would see a reduction in their premiums.
invented
12
abortion.
more million people would get covered. So I think it is a beginning, and the way
I'm the
you
poster
start and
child
the
of
way you
abortion.
move
Wait a
to
second.
universal health care.
My mom tried to
This
abort
one
me.
that's for you. All of you on stage support a woman's right to an abortion. You all support some version of a government health care option. Would your plan cover abortion, Mr. Secretary?
Yes, it would. I don't believe only in reproductive freedom. I believe in reproductive justice.
What the fuck does that mean? What is that?
What does that even mean?
Are you going to put on a mask and run through Gotham?
Let's also not forget.
He wants
someone in the
Batman to
trans
perform the
community,
abortion.
A trans female.
What is reproductive
Doesn't
justice?
mean they shouldn't have the right to exercise that right to choose. And so I absolutely would.
I'm gonna dress
cover the
my
right to have
penis
an
up as
abortion.
Batman and
More
go
than
in there to
that,
Lady Monkey.
Everybody in this crowd and watching at home knows that in our
I need to
country
serve
today,
justice.
a person's right to choose is under assault in places like Missouri, in Alabama, in Georgia. I would appoint judges to the federal bench that understand the precedent of Roe v. Wade and respect it.
Okay.
And in addition to
That's
that,
what he means
make
by
sure that we
reproductive
fight
justice,
hard
is
as
trying
we
to defend it in the
transition our
states
healthcare
through the
system
judiciary.
to one where everybody can get and exercise that right.
Senator Warren, would you put limits
Oh,
on
God
any
damn it!
limits on abortion?
Her again.
Again. Okay, you know, somebody out there is going to be clocking all the time each candidate got in this thing, and Elizabeth is all the way at the top.
That includes birth control.
She is. She has to be.
Abortion. It includes.
You think she's the sentimental successor to Hillary?
It's not enough for us to expect the courts to protect
she's
us.
their favorite on the stage.
47 years ago, Roe versus Wade was decided, and we've all looked to the courts all that
I think
time,
they see her as
state after
Bernie
state
and
has
Hillary had a
Roe,
kid
has
and this
put in
popped out.
exceptions, has come
Unfortunately,
right
it
up to
wasn't
the
aborted.
edge of taking away protection.
Your time is up, Senator.
Yeah,
We
Senator,
now
shut up.
have an America where most
Shut
people
up!
support Roe versus Wade. We need to make that
Stop
happen.
being patriarchal. Let her speak.
Senator Booker,
She needs to speak her
come
truth.
back on a discussion
Senator
we were
Booker.
having about health and the opioid crisis.
What about Bill de Blasio? You guys have been avoiding him.
14 of the 20 largest pharmaceutical companies are based. Should pharmaceutical companies that manufacture these drugs be held criminally liable for what they do?
They should absolutely be held criminally liable because they are liable and responsible. This is one of the reasons why, well before I was running for president, I said I would not take contributions from pharma companies, not take contributions from corporate PACs or pharma executives, because they are part of this problem. And this opioid addiction in our country, we in cities like mine have been seeing how we've tried to arrest our way out of addiction for too long. It is time that we have a national urgency to deal with this problem and make the solutions that are working.
Dude, the black community said that the opioid community don't affect them. It affects white people. That's why they care.
Help to pay for that.
Congressman O'Rourke, how would you deal with it?
Tonight in this country, you have 2.3 million of our fellow Americans behind bars. It's the
I'm buffering on my main
population
video.
on the face of the
Behind
planet.
bars?
Many are there for nonviolent drug crimes, including
Vito, he was asking
possession
about the
of
opioid
marijuana
crisis, not the
at a time
fucking
that more
mass
than half the
incarceration
states have
conspiracy
legalized
theory.
it or decriminalized it. And yet, despite what Purdue Pharma has done, their connection to the opioid crisis and the overdose deaths that we're seeing throughout this country, they've been able to act with complete impunity and pay no consequences, not a single night in jail. Unless there's accountability and justice, this crisis will continue.
Responsibility
And
of
my
this Congress
administration
and the
will
FDA.
hold them to account. We will make sure that they
can't
pay a price.
do
and we will
anything.
help those who've been
Yeah,
victims
As
of
president,
this
you can't
malfeasance
just go
in this country. Get
lock
them
those
treatment
people
and
up.
long-term care.
I know immigration is
You know, they did as though being president is somehow going to anoint them as king, but it's not, and they know it, but yet they talk as though they're going to have some kind of godlike powers.
You want to know why? Because they think Trump has that power.
Well, yeah, they have to make.
Yeah.
It was that they get into the Oval Office and someone's going to hand them the Infinity Gauntlet, just like, oh, I'm done. Snap my fingers.
Yeah.
All
they
right,
think
guys.
Trump has that power, so that's why they're like, I'm going to do it.
We're at our first break. Who's winning so far?
Who the fuck do you think is winning? The person who they're manipulating to win.
Warren for time, at least.
Yeah.
FaceTime, Warren's got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't agree with anything she's saying, but the scales certainly seem to be tipped in that direction.
Yeah, Warren's winning for time. And it is in relative terms. I've liked Booker's initial approach to some of his answers, but he falls apart real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the longer he talks, the worse it gets.
And Beto is just a fucking bag of hot air.
Beto is just horrible.
Yeah, he ain't said shit
Look,
since it started. Like nothing's.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Hey, that's an opioid. Blame Purdue.
I'm sitting over here trying to put together this media tower. I have my mic muted, so I'm just like butting with stuff, and every 2 minutes I do the like hand throwing up in the air motion.
Yeah.
This is insane. These people are insane.
Chat, how are you doing? Are you enjoying this? Is this working for you? Can you hear us okay? I don't even know how the sound's working out.
Oh, we haven't gotten any complaints. So something.
All right. Beto is high, says ain't really noticing.
Wow. Dude, 370 people watching.
Nice.
What's that like ratio?
Real quick, doesn't seem like Trump's actually tweeting.
Well, 153 likes, guys. What are you doing? Smash that like button. Oh.
All right.
Hit the like. Oh, God, here we go again.
Okay, Eraserhead's got something to say.
Alone.
Oh, here we go, guys.
Yep.
Even as close as Homestead, Florida, right here, less than 30 miles from where we are tonight.
Yeah.
Fathers and mothers and children are dying while trying to enter the United States.
Stop trying to get here.
We saw that image today
Yeah, we did.
that broke our hearts, and they had names.
Yeah, they had names.
Interesting how that image came out right before the debates,
daughter
right?
Valeria died
Indeed.
trying to cross the river to ask for asylum.
Oh, is that what they were doing? No, they
Last
were
month, more than
to go to a port of entry, for fuck's sake.
migrants were apprehended at the southern border. Secretary Castro, if you were president today, hoy, what would you specifically do?
Thank you very much, Jose. I'm very proud that in April I became the first candidate to put forward a comprehensive immigration plan. And we saw those images.
Tell us what your plan is,
that
Julian.
image of Oscar and his daughter Valeria.
Isn't it kind of racist to go to your immigration question to the
It should also piss
Cuban?
us all off.
Oh, wow. Did you say piss on the air? Oh, my God. How progressive.
And it should spur us to action. If I were president today, I would sign an executive order that would get rid of Trump's zero-tolerance policy, the Remain in Mexico policy, and the metering policy.
So you just let them all in.
This is basically what prompted Oscar and Valeria to make that risky
Julian,
swim
before those
across the
things
River.
existed, were
They have
people
been
not
playing
still trying to
games
cross the border
with people
illegally
who
and
are coming
dying?
trying to seek asylum at our ports of entry.
Look,
Oscar and Valeria
rich people
went to a
having
port of
stuff
entry,
causes
and then they
people
were
to break into
denied
their
the ability
houses.
to make an asylum claim.
No,
So
they weren't
frustrated, and
denied.
they
The
tried to
guy
cross
took
the
his
river,
2-year-old
and they
fucking
died
kid
because
and
of
just
that.
dodged it and tried to
Day
cheat.
one, I would do that executive order that
He
would address
drowned his
metering, and then I
fucking
would follow
child
that
because he
up
wasn't willing
in
to
my
go to the
first
port of
100
entry and go through the
with
process.
immigration
As
reform
fucking
that would honor
Byzantine as it
asylum
is.
claims, that would put
Fuck
undocumented immigrants, as long as they haven't committed a serious crime, on a pathway to citizenship, and then we'd go to the root cause of the issue, which is we need a Marshall Plan for Honduras and
We need a Marshall Plan for Honduras.
so that people can find safety and opportunity at
He wants to
home instead of
colonize
coming to
the
United States to
Latin
seek it.
American countries.
Senator Booker,
You
what
wanna
would you do on
airlift
day
supplies
one?
in
And this is
Honduras?
a situation that the next president will
Honduras.
La situación
Inacceptable.
ahora
Oh, for fuck's sake, Corey, come on!
El presidente ha atacado, ha demonizado los inmigrantes. Es inaceptable. Voy a
Speako
cambiar
el
esto.
Inglesho,
On day
Corio
one,
Bucaro.
I will make sure
Thank you,
that,
Robert.
number
So in order
one,
to
we
avoid
end
the appearance
ICE
of a
policies
kiddie
and the
table, they
customs
sat
and border
Chief
policies
Faux
that are
Feather
violating the
with
human
the
rights.
kid. Yeah.
When people come to this country, they do not leave their human rights at the border. Number two, I will make sure that we reinstate DACA, that we reinstate pathways to citizenship for DACA recipients.
I don't
and
have
to
a
make
problem
sure
with the
that
Dream
people that
Act
are here
if
on
you
temporary
guys
protected
passed
status
it
can
normally
stay
and not through a
remain
fucking
here.
executive
And
order.
then finally,
Thank you, lamented
we
guide, who
need
says,
to make
Dios
sure
mío.
that we address the issues that made Oscar and Valeria come in the first place by making major investments in the Northern Triangle, not like this president is doing. We're stripping away the
Give away
resources
all
we
our
need
money to
actually
the
solve this problem.
to Honduras,
We cannot
Ecuador,
surrender our values
Guatemala.
and think that we're
Corey,
gonna
we
get border
cannot
security.
solve the
We actually
problems
will
of
lose
those other
security
countries
and our
for them.
values.
We'd be
must
throwing
fight
money
for
down a
both.
hole forever. Either they do it on their own or they don't.
This is an important point. You know, my plan, and I'm glad to see that Senator Booker, Senator Warren, and Governor Inslee agree with me on this. My plan also includes getting rid of Section 1325 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, to go back to the way we used to treat this when somebody comes across the border, not to criminalize desperation, to treat that as a civil violation. And here's why it's important. We see all of this horrendous family separation. They use that law, Section 1325, to justify under the law separating little children from their families. And so I want to challenge every single candidate on this stage to support the repeal of Section 1325.
30 seconds.
Kelly, bring me up
here said
a
I agree
Phillips
with him
head.
on that issue, but folks should understand that the
What are you building?
separation of children
Wait,
from
is that
families
code for, like,
doesn't
bring me a
just go on at our
screwdriver? You got
border.
some orange juice
It
and
happens
vodka
in
or
our
something?
communities as ICE are ripping away parents from their American children, spouses and the like, and are creating fear in cities all across this country where parents are afraid to even drop their kids off to school or go to work. We must end those
Because they're in the
policies
country
as
illegally?
well.
Yeah, well, shit,
This
dude.
country, because look at the bottom line here. That tragic photo of that parent, that child.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this as a father.
Yeah.
Every American should feel that in their heart, and every American should say that is not America. Those are not our values, but we have to get under the
Yeah,
skin.
drowning my 2-year-old is not an American value. I'll
system
agree with you
because we're
that
not being
right there, Bill.
honest
Drowning my
about the
2-year-old child in a
division
moving
that's been
river
fomented
is
in
not
this
an
country.
American value.
The way that American citizens have been
For the
told
record,
that
the last time
immigrants
Section
somehow created their
1325
misery
was
and their
changed
pain
was
and their challenges.
September
For all the
30th,
American citizens out there
1996.
Who feel you're falling behind, who feel
Yeah,
the
it
American
was
dream's not
true under
working for you.
Obama. This
The
is
immigrants didn't do that to you.
It was under Clinton.
Yeah, Clinton and Obama and Bush, etc.
The 1% did that to you.
The 1%.
To be the party of working people, and that
Scribe, I know you said it earlier as a joke, but I think they think it's serious. The reason rich people get their house broke into is because they have nice
corporations who created this mess to
I don't
begin
think
with.
that might have been Satsu or somebody. I don't know.
No, I said that.
That was a monkey. Okay.
That debate, that
was me.
politics that's holding us back. We won't get all these
Thank you,
reforms people
Robert.
talk about. That's what we need to
Spartacus
do
for
as
white
Democrats.
guilt. Yes.
To why people are coming.
If I could, I'm sorry. Congresista O'Rourke. ¿Qué haría
¿Qué me
usted en el
tengo
primer
God damn
día,
it.
si usted es presidente, sobre esta
Bueno, Pute,
realidad que está ocurriendo? What would you do?
I can't wait to hear, like,
Congressman,
I'll give you
day
10
one
seconds
at the White
to
House?
answer the question for real, what that is in Spanish.
I want to hear Elizabeth Warren answer in Navajo.
Bubba Hotep, thank you. Something that's always killed me. Which part of the government writes the laws? Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm trying so hard. But this is cringeworthy.
Kids in
And
cages.
it's hurting me
We
physically.
would spare no expense to reunite the families
Non-answer,
that
you
have
mean?
been separated
Yes.
already.
Congressman,
And we
your
would not
policy
criminally
would still
prosecute
criminalize
any
them
family
because your
who is
policy
fleeing
doesn't call
violence
for the repeal
and
of Section
persecution.
1325.
We would make sure
Secretary, let him finish, and I will give you.
His policy.
Let him finish his non-answer,
Let him finish,
Julian.
please. Yes.
we would not detain any family fleeing violence. In fact, fleeing the deadliest countries.
Yes,
on
the
face
guy who
of the
drowned
planet
was
today.
fleeing
We would implement a
money.
family case management program.
You have
so they
to
could be cared
determine
for
the
in the
veracity
community
of
at a
their
fraction
claim at
of
the
cost.
border. You don't
And
just
then we
get to
would
say
rewrite
because
our
they said they
immigration
were
laws
fleeing
in our
violence,
own image.
they were.
Free dreamers
That's what
for
the
Well, that's what's
process-
happening now.
fear
That's
of
what a lot of the
deportation
asylum
by
seekers are
making
doing
them
right
US
now.
Yeah.
I'm fleeing
citizens here in
violence.
this country.
Yeah, well, that's
Invest
their
in
claim, and then they have to go through
solutions
the
in
process of
Central
proving whether or
America
not that's
with
true. And
regional
I've done so many
stakeholders, so there's
videos
no
on
reason
stories where
to
people
make
went
that
through all those
2,000-mile
appeals
journey to
and finally got a final order of
Secretary,
deportation,
very
and they
clear.
avoided it and ran.
The reason that they're separating these little children from their families is that they're using Section 1325 of that act, which criminalizes coming across the border, to incarcerate the parents and then separate them. Some of us
Until
on
they
this
can
stage
determine
have
whether they're
called
actually
to
their
end that
children,
section,
and
to
also it is a
terminate it.
federal
Some,
crime
like
to enter
Congressman
the
O'Rourke,
country
have not.
illegally.
And I wanna
Well, that's what he's
challenge
saying.
all
He
the
wants it to
candidates
no
to do
longer
that.
be a crime to enter the country
just think it's a
illegally.
mistake,
Like there
that's all. I
won't
think
be,
it's
there
a
will be no
mistake.
such thing as illegal entry.
Yeah, they want to make it a
change the
civil matter,
system,
not a
then we
criminal
gotta
matter, which
repeal
cuts
that
down
section.
everything.
If
But
not,
Thank you.
then it
at the
might
same
as well
time,
say
somebody
the
comes up with a
policy
kid and says,
matters.
"This is my daughter."
Briefly,
Is
as a
it?
member of Congress, I
Is
helped
she
to
being
introduce
trafficked?
legislation
It doesn't
to
matter.
ensure that we don't criminalize
Doesn't
those who are
matter.
seeking asylum and refuge
I'm
in this
not
country.
talking
If you're
about-
fleeing,
I'm not talking
if you're
about the ones
fleeing
that are seeking
desperation,
asylum.
then I
I'm
want to
talking
make
about-
sure.
This is
I want to
absolutely-
make
There's
everybody
everybody
respect.
else.
I'm still talking about
Because
everybody
it's not,
else.
You're looking
it's
at
not just the
one
asylum
small
seekers,
part of this.
guys.
I'm talking
Don't
about
let them
a
lie to you.
comprehensive
You hear what he
rewrite
said?
of
I'm not
immigration
talking about the
laws.
ones that are seeking asylum.
I don't think it's asking
That's
too
actually
much
not
for
true.
people
I'm
to
If you
talking
just
about
want to
laws. I'm
cross
talking
the
about
border, come on
millions of
over.
folks.
Julian
a lot
thinks
of
it's
folks that are
okay.
coming are not seeking asylum. A lot of them are undocumented immigrants.
Thank you, Truck and Bear.
you
Speak
said
English or get the
recently
fuck out.
that
Yeah,
the reason you didn't
get
want
used to this
repeal Section
throughout this
1325
campaign,
was
guys.
because,
I'm just
you were
pissed off at
concerned
them
about
saying
human
like, oh, that
trafficking
father and
and
his
drug
child
trafficking.
died because
But
they're
let me
trying to
tell you
seek
what,
asylum.
Section
No,
18,
if they
Title
go
18
to
of
the
the
port
US
of
Code,
entry and you can
Title
seek asylum.
21
We have
and
a
Title
laws and
22
set up for
already
that.
cover human trafficking.
They're trying to cheat.
I think that you should do
I
this
love
now.
the
Going to
look
this
Cory
issue.
Booker
If
gives
you
all
did
the
your
other
homework
candidates
on
when
this
they're
issue,
talking.
you would know that we should repeal this section.
This
Oh, he
is
looks
something
mad.
We should and could be talking about for
I
a
do.
long time, and we will for a long time.
Can we
to
talk
come.
about the conditions
But
to why
we're gonna-
people are coming
Okay.
here?
Let's
You're losing control, moderators. You got three people
Savannah,
here.
sorry, Savannah. I know it's just we could go on.
But rather than talk about specific provisions, we really have to talk about why these people are coming to
You'll
our
get your
country
chance.
and what are we going to do.
Did she just say you'll get your
to actually make a
chance?
difference in these countries.
Congressman, you'll get your chance.
Will
Let's
he?
continue the
Because you're giving it
discussion.
all to Warren lately.
Senator Klobuchar,
Yes.
let's talk about
Castro
what
just got
Secretary
4
Castro
different
just
chances
said.
to speak.
He wants to no longer have it be a crime to illegally cross the border.
Mm-hmm.
Do you support that? Do you think it should be a civil offense only? And if so,
Okay,
do
I
you
wanna hear
worry
this one.
about potentially incentivizing people to come
That's
here?
right.
Immigrants,
No.
they do not diminish America.
immigrants.
They
Not
are
immigrant-
America.
What?
And I
Stop.
am happy to look at his proposal, but I do think you
I'm
want
sick
to
and
make
tired
sure
of
that
people
you have
falsely
provisions in place
equivocating
that allow you to go
immigration
after
with
traffickers
illegal
allow you
and
to go
legal
after
immigrants. It's
people,
just so they're all one big
who are,
demographic.
Violating the law.
Thank you,
What I
Lamented Guy,
really
who says
think
they're
we
not
need to step
immigrants,
back and
they're
talk
illegal
about
aliens.
is
Indeed.
the economic imperative here.
But
And
remember,
that
nobody's
is,
illegal.
That 70
Nobody's
of our
illegal.
Fortune 500 companies are headed up by people that came from other countries. 25% of our
Yeah,
US
and you know what? They
Nobel
probably
laureates
came
were
legally,
born
didn't they?
in other countries.
Yeah,
thank you.
We have a situation right
Over
now
on the
where we need
Streamlabs
workers in
anomaly
our
says,
fields
you
and
know,
in our
moonshine is
factories. We
helping
need
this
them to
more than I
start
thought it
small
would.
businesses. We need their ideas. And this president has literally gone backwards at a time
shit,
where
I forgot to put all
our
the weight.
economy needs immigrants. And so my proposal is to look at that 2013 bill that passed the Senate with Republican support, to upgrade that bill, to make it as good as possible and get it done. It brings the debt down by $158 billion. It gives a path to citizenship
Where are we now? The
for for people
Yes.
who can become citizens. And it would be so much better for
Bringing
the
in
economy
illegals
in America.
with no skills is going to help.
Congressman Ryan,
the
You know,
debt.
you know that month over month in the last 2 years, we've had more legal immigrants
I agree
becoming
with,
citizens
Secretary Castro.
than in
I
the
think
last
there are
20
other
years or something. I read
provisions
this
in the
article
law
where they put up all the
that
numbers.
will
It's
allow
just
you
like,
to prosecute
we're
people
not
for coming
preventing
over here
people
if
from
they're
coming to this
dealing
country.
in drugs and other things. That's
I
already established
hate
in the
this
law.
fucking
So there's
equivalency.
no need to repeat it. And I think it's abhorrent.
Tim,
We're
I think
talking
your tie
about
is abhorrent.
This father who got killed with his daughter.
He didn't get. Oh God.
And the issues
He didn't
here
get
are way
killed.
these kids are being treated.
He put his
If you
child
go
and
to
himself at risk
Guantanamo
and
Bay,
drowned each other.
There are terrorists that are held.
Tim, you look like you
that
got a
get better
thyroid
healthcare
problem.
than
Your eyes
those
are
kids that
popping
have
out of
tried
your
to
head.
cross the border in the United States. That needs to stop. And I think the president should immediately ask doctors and nurses to go immediately down to the border and
fuck
start taking
off.
care of these kids. What kind of country are we running here where we have a
You're going to
president of the
press
United
gang
States
doctors
who's so
and
focused
nurses
on
go down to
hate
the border?
and fear and
The
division?
one that
And
happened
what
just
has
not too
happened
long
now,
ago,
the
the
end
little girl who
result
died.
is
She
now
had
we've
a
got
fucking
kids
heart
literally
condition.
laying in
They
their
tried
own
to
snot
help
with
her.
3-week-old
Yeah, they sent her to the
diapers that
best fucking
haven't been
hospitals
changed.
available,
We've
for
got
fuck's
to tell this
sake.
president
Fred
that is not
Castro,
a
thank
sign
you.
of
People who
strength,
break
Mr.
and enter
President.
your house are
That is a
just
sign
unexpected
of
house
weakness.
guests. Why would you want to force those people out of your house?
But no,
I think that is a perfectly legal or interesting question given their fucking answers here.
They're not illegal
There's been a
immigrants.
lot
They're
of talk
surprise
about what you
mechanics.
do in the first 100 days about legislation.
Okay,
What will you
I just muted
actually do
them
with these
for a
families?
moment, guys.
How will
That's
you
fair,
care
man.
for them? Will they be detained or will they not be?
Well, this is a related and brief point.
Surprise
because
lawn care
what
engineers.
we're talking about,
Surprise
what
tenants.
Castro and I are talking about, is that we have the power to better deal with this problem through the civil process than the criminal process.
What? How?
I have been to some of the largest private
How is the
prisons which are
civil
repugnant
process
to
going to
me,
be
that
any
people
more
are profiting off
efficient or
incarceration
effective than
and
the
their
criminal
immigration
process?
lockups? Our country has made so many mistakes by criminalizing things, whether it's immigration, whether it's mental illness.
It's not
whether it's
criminalizing
addiction.
immigration,
We know that
Corey.
this is not the way to deal with problems.
Immigration
There
is
a
not
humane
criminal.
way that
Coming
affirms
across the
human
border
rights and human dignity
undocumented and
actually solve
illegally
this
is
problem.
criminal.
Donald Trump isn't solving this problem. We've seen under
Did he
his
just say
leadership
criminalizing
a
mental
surge at our
illness?
border. We
Is he
solved this
advocating for
problem by
opening
making
back up
investments in the
asylums?
Northern Triangle
I'm
to
not sure
stop
what
the
he's
reasons why
trying to
people
get
are
at.
being
I don't know
driven
what
here
he's
in the
talking
first
about
place.
criminalizing.
And we make sure we use
Or what
our
he's criticizing
resources to
there.
provide health care, to affirm the
I don't think
values
he
and
knows
human
what he's talking
dignity of
about
the people that come here.
Corey, you
because we
guys have just
cannot
all debated
sacrifice
about how we
our
can't provide
values,
effective
our
health care to our
ideals
own
as a nation for
citizens.
border
How the hell are we going to do it
security.
to a
We
bunch
can
of people
have
coming
both by
across the
doing this
border
the
illegally?
right way.
Well, you missed that, man. Remember, when we bring in all these illegals, it's going to bring a ton of money with it. It's going to solve the debt crisis.
I just asked Cory Booker. I have yet to hear an answer from anyone on this stage. What will you do with the families that will be here?
There is no reason for the detention and separation of these children. They should be
There's
released
no reason,
pending
Jay.
their hearings, and they should have
Where do
a
they
hearing,
go?
and the law should be followed.
There's
That's
no
what should
reason
happen.
to make a
And we should do
determination
what
of
we're
whether or
doing in
not the children
Washington
being brought to
State.
the border are
I'm proud
actually
that we've
those
passed a
of the
law
people bringing
that
them there.
prevents local
There's
law
no reason to make a
enforcement from being
determination of whether or not they've been
turned into mini
kidnapped or
ICE
trafficked
agents.
or anything
I'm
else.
proud to have been the first
Really,
governor
Ken?
to
No
stand
reason.
up against
Ask
Donald
these
Trump's
assholes how they
heinous
felt about
Muslim
Donald
ban.
Trump saying, okay, we'll
I'm
just
proud
go
to be a
release them
person
all
who's
in
not
San
only
Francisco.
talked about dreamers, but being one of the first to make sure that they get a college education so that they can realize their dreams.
Okay.
These are
We
some
need
of the
to
most
make them so they can
inspirational
realize
people
their
in our
dreams.
state. And I'll leave you with
Shut
this
up.
thought if you want to know what I
How'd
do.
this guy get on the
Donald
stage?
Trump the other day tried to threaten me. He thought it was a threat to tell me that he would send refugees in Washington State if we passed the law that I passed. And I told him that's not a threat at all.
What?
We welcome refugees into our state. We recognize
refugees?
diversity as a strength.
I just
This
watched
is
a
how we built
documentary
America.
a
That
couple weeks
tradition's
ago
gonna
that some
continue
guy
if our
did in
president
Seattle
says
where he
that.
showed all of the homelessness and all of the like awful things going on there. That's like a mini San Francisco. Jay, you can't even handle the people who don't have homes in your own state. How the hell are you going to handle more refugees coming in?
Listen, Scribe, he knows what he's doing. Lamenda Guy, thank you. No reason. What about the sick migrants?
To put aside how you think we may have gotten here, but what I want to know is how do you dial it back? So a show of hands, who as president would sign on to the 2015 nuclear deal as it was originally negotiated?
as it was originally negotiated? Oh, Corey wouldn't.
Senator Booker.
Wow.
May I address that? First and foremost, it was a mistake to pull out of that deal. And one of the reasons why we're seeing this hostility now is because Donald Trump is marching us to a far more dangerous situation. Literally, he took us out of the deal and gave us transparency into their nuclear program and pushed back a nuclear breakout 10, 20 years. And now we see Iran threatening to go further, and we're being pulled in further and further into this crisis. We need to renegotiate and get back into a deal, but I'm not going to have a primary platform to say unilaterally I'm going to rejoin that deal, because when I am President of the United States, I'm going to do the best I can to secure this country and that region and make sure that if I have an opportunity to leverage a better deal, I'm going to do it.
All right. Okay,
that is a semi-fair answer. It's like I wouldn't do the same deal we had. I get a better deal.
Okay. Can you
Fair enough.
that nuclear
but if it was a good deal,
was ratified, was a good deal?
All right.
Yes, it was.
It was imperfect, but it was
No, it
a
wasn't.
good deal for that moment. I would have worked to get longer sunset periods, and that's something we could negotiate to get back in the deal. But the point is, Donald Trump told us when he got out of it that he was going to give us a better deal. Those were his words. And now we are a month away from the Iranians who claim now that they're going to blow the caps on enriching uranium. And the Iranians
this is the
have
first
told
point
us
where
this.
they actually
And
have
so
a decent
that's where we
argument.
are right now. He has made us less safe than we were when he became president. So what I would do is negotiate us back into that agreement, is stand with our allies and not give unlimited leverage to China and Russia, which is what he has done. And then, finally, I would make sure that if there is any possibility of a conflict, and we're having this debate in Congress right now, that he comes to Congress for an authorization of military force. I would do that. And this president is literally every single day 10 minutes away from going to war, one tweet away from going to war, and I don't think we should conduct foreign policy.
You had me until you got to Twitter.
At 5 in the morning, which is what he does.
He's 10 minutes away from war at any minute because of what he tweets.
You've said
Holy
you
shit!
would sign back onto the 2015
No.
deal. Would you insist, though,
Guys, we're not even an hour into this shit.
Iran's support for Hezbollah?
Let's deal with the situation where we are, where this president and his chicken hawk cabinet have led us to the brink of war.
Chicken hawk
with Iran.
cabinet? I don't know. We were already into several wars by Bush's
at the height of the war in 2005.
But a lot of the same people are still stuck around. A lot of
my brothers and sisters.
Oh yeah, no, I know. John Bolton and all those guys. Yeah,
I think she's specifically.
The American people need to understand that this war with Iran would be far more devastating, far more costly than anything that we ever saw in Iraq. It would take many more lives. It would exacerbate the refugee crisis. And it wouldn't be just contained within Iran. This would turn into a regional war. And this is why it's so important that every one of us, every single American,
Duck Dog,
stand
thank
up
you.
and say,
Listening to these stupid twat waffles is making me dumber and raising my blood pressure. Fuck this, I'm out. Have a good night.
No, she's not wrong. The religious sects combining with each other over there, Saudi Arabia, Israel, the whole 9 yards. If Iran goes to war with us, it would turn into a regional problem.
We can do both simultaneously.
If you take what happened the other day, and if we had responded to that, we would have just devastated what they had, and they might have raised the arms. But they're acting like this is the first time the U.S. and Iran have ever gotten into it before. And what happens every time is the rest of the region goes, we're not fucking.
But my point is, and it's important for us to recognize this, is Donald Trump and his cabinet, Mike Pompeo, John Bolton, and others, are creating a situation that just a spark would light off a war with Iran, which is incredibly dangerous. That's why we need to de-escalate tensions. Trump needs to get back into the Iran nuclear deal.
I didn't agree with him pulling out of the nuclear deal altogether.
First.
And she's not wrong there.
Yeah, I don't think she's.
But we will have much more. Mayor de Blasio will have more of the commercial.
Shut up. It's commercial time. Got to pay for this shit.
Rachel Maddow, stick around. We'll have a
Oh, Rachel Maddow. I can't wait.
Anxious candidates just ahead.
Yay.
She's going to say, what do you guys think about Russia?
Faithless, you're right. That spark was always there. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was certainly exacerbated by us pulling out of the agreement. Let's not kid
ourselves. I just put it all together. I'm so proud of myself.
Good job.
What, an IKEA bookshelf?
No.
Oh. But is it a Wayfair bookshelf? Because I hear those should be boycotted.
Dude, these people are insane. But I really, I would like to explore why Monkey thinks Gabbard is wrong.
I think she's wrong. One, the nuclear deal didn't do anything for us. By all rights, Iran wasn't following what they were supposed to anyway. All they got was a big, fat, giant payday out of it. And then when you're discussing Iran, I mean, this is a country we've been having issues with as long as I've been alive, literally as long as I've been alive. And suggesting that the only reason that they're in any way being jackasses again is because we pulled out of this deal is naive at best.
No.
It is naive to the history of the region and our history with them.
That's okay. That's beside the point. Being in the deal gave us the leverage to use against Iran if they went against it with the rest of the world. That we pulled out prematurely, giving Iran no incentive to do elsewise. That puts us in a very awkward position with the rest of our allies and even the people that would support Iran.
Does that matter if they were going against it anyway?
Well, that's the thing. If they were going against it and we didn't break our end of the deal, then we would have more cachet amongst the world to say elsewhere.
My blood pressure's not too bad right now.
Yeah, we didn't make that case before pulling out. So, and by the way, Steve Kornacki, the guy who told us that Trump was going to lose by a landslide.
122 over 69.
Oh, that's not too bad. Chicago Mike, as a Cuban, there's no way in hell I will vote for anyone with the last name Castro.
Fair enough.
Fair.
I wonder how Buttigieg's going to try to navigate his misfortune of a name.
Oh, well, not only that, but I can't wait for somebody to ask him about if they do, ask him about his experience just in that town hall regarding the cop that killed the black guy in his town.
Oh, I think that's got to be brought up.
I want white privilege to be brought up by somebody at some point. I just want to hear what their answers are. I'd love to hear that.
Whose night is it tomorrow?
Satsu's.
Satsu's night.
Good night, Sarah.
Are you gonna do the debate, Satsu?
Yeah, I mean we can.
You want to do it with the same OBS setup? I'll put you on the big chair.
Might as well, because I mean, I'm less interested in it than you guys are. I just like to hear you rant, and
I think our audience does too.
Yeah, like honestly, like I said, some of the stuff I do have comments on, but for the most part, this shit is just really annoying to me. So
okay,
real quick. I'm sorry, I need to address this. Greg Miller just said, just had a great response, got kicked for nothing but your name again. Guys, we have a lot of new people watching tonight. If you try to type my name in chat, there's a good chance you'll either be censored or, kicked out briefly. It's not me. It's YouTube. I've tried addressing it. It's those fuckers. I have no control over it. Sorry. I'm sorry, Scribe. What were you saying?
Yeah. Assassin of the Gray said, that is not correct. The world would not care less if Iran did not honor the deal. That is not true. If we stayed in the deal and they demonstrably broke it, we would have a whole bunch of political capital to use in trying to get either a better deal or to get their allies to back down from taking an aggressive stance in their defense if there was provably they broke the deal that they agreed to and signed to.
7 seconds.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't think the only people in the region who do anything is Israel, and they expect us to back them up no matter what.
Well, it's not an expectation; it's a guarantee.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate.
It's an alliance, yeah.
Did you
see, Rachel coming?
Did you see?
I heard Rachel take part. Sorry.
Israel trying to use America as a cudgel to beat Poland over the head.
No.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah, because Israel wanted reparations and Poland said, go fuck yourself.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
And Chuck Todd, yay.
Oh, Chuck Todd.
20 candidates qualified for this first Democratic debate.
Sean
We're going to
Hannity's
hear
lost
from
a lot of weight.
10 tonight, 10 more tomorrow. The breakdown for each night was selected at random.
Well, I didn't know the lead singer.
The candidates will have 60 seconds to answer, 30 seconds for a follow-up if necessary.
Is that Trent
and we will
Reznor?
be ruthless if necessary.
Yeah, we can do that.
Graceland says just call him money. YouTube will never censor the word money. No shit.
We're going to be talking about guns and climate here up top. A whole lot more in this hour.
Okay, Rachel, I'm dying to hear
field.
Rachel.
Not every person will be able to weigh in on everything, but over the course of this
Come on,
next
Chuck,
hour,
shut up.
we will hear from
Shut up.
everyone. I promise everybody.
Yeah.
And to begin with, we're going to go with
starting with
Senator
we'll hear from
Warren.
everyone. Starting with Senator
We are
Warren.
less than 50 miles.
Oh, fuck
from
off.
Parkland, Florida, where 17 people were killed in a school shooting last year.
Here we go.
And where there
How
has
far
been
are they
significant
from,
activism on gun violence ever since.
Pulse
Many of you are
nightclub?
calling for a restoration of an assault
Yeah, I
weapons
don't know.
ban. But even if
Don't
implemented,
care. Don't worry about
there will
those.
still be hundreds of millions of guns in this country.
Should there be a role for the federal government?
Their mics are on. Everybody's mics are on. I think we have a.
Uh-oh.
I heard that too. That's okay.
I was
I think we had a little mic issue in the back.
there.
Control room, we've got contrary
We had the. I think we
audio.
heard. Yeah, we have the audience audio. All right. So the question is simply this. We're from. I apologize, you guys didn't get to hear this. The first part of the question. Obviously, we're not far from Parkland, Florida. Gun activism has become a big part of high school life up there in Broward County. Many of you are calling for tighter gun restrictions. Some of you are calling for the restoration of the assault weapons ban. But even if it's put in place, there's still going to be perhaps hundreds of millions of guns still on the streets. Is there a role for the federal government in order to play in order to get these guns off the streets?
Can we get an F for NBC? F for NBC's control room.
What's happening?
We are hearing our colleagues' audio. If the control room can turn off the mics. Yeah, if the control room can turn off the mics.
I wish we could hear something spicy.
Yeah, no doubt.
This is the broadcast equivalent of a CNN article.
Right.
We are going to take a quick.
Is this the Bully Hunters fucking stream?
Yes.
Bully Hunters, yeah.
We're actually going to a break. It's so bad. Good job.
Wow, you guys fucked up. Good job, NBC.
Okay, so we're halfway through, everybody.
NBC stands for no background chatter.
Oof.
That's funny.
The Warren lost some of her momentum there in the second half as everybody said, fuck this, I'm not letting her take over.
Yeah, exactly.
Thankfully they did, though. It was just...
They were giving her so much fucking territory.
Yeah, they really did.
Well, it sounds like they're going to do it when they come back.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they didn't go, all right, everyone. Warren, what do you think?
I'd just like to point out we've had less issues than NBC. So if you'd like to donate, because I'm not sponsored by anything, please feel free. Shit. I can't wait to come back and hear how bad guns are.
I am hypnotized by Steve Kornacki's mustard-colored pants.
Yeah, those are pretty.
That needs to become a part of our intro. Like, welcome to Lords of the Night, bringing you less interruptions than NBC.
Sinatra, Geode says, check your Streamlabs, bud.
Check your Streamlabs quieter.
Geode for 5 says, thank you for hosting the debate live on Lords of the Night. Have some cash.
Yeah, dude, seriously. Said this earlier, but thank you so much for helping us out with this, man.
Absolutely. It's totally worth it. This is fucking insane.
This is retarded.
Steve, are you going over your greatest failures right now? Because that's what you're doing.
The audience can't see it, but he's just pointing at a screen. Actually, no, here, let me.
Did you see the
look at his pants?
You see the mashup of Steve Kornacki doing his big predictions for the landslide back in 2016?
No.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. He's got the big map up and he's pointing out, he's like, well, you know, if the states go the way that we're thinking right now, the polls say this, that, and the other thing, Hillary Clinton's taken 49 of the 50 states.
Yeah, that was a great prediction.
That was hilarious.
Do you think you could get Lords of the Night to run a faux debate? I would like to see who would win a Lords debate.
Oh, God.
That's who would win, because he's just going to go, I'm black.
Yeah, I'm going to start off every point with, as a black man.
As a black man.
You got to learn some Spanish. Just
I'll start off every
as
answer
a mano de negro.
Yeah, I'll start off every answer by going, guacamole? Quesadilla?
Does anybody know what that question was?
Oh, they restated it in English afterwards. They did the both. Oh. Yeah, so whatever it was the same.
Oh my God. This is day one. Yes, we got day 2 tomorrow. From what I hear, they're going to make the standards to get on the debate stage next time even harder, so we'll have fewer people.
It's doubled. So next, the requirements for the next one are this first one was you had to have either you had to poll at least 1% on average in 3 different polls, or you had 65,000 individual donations from, I think, 20 different states or something like that, some kooky. The next time you have to have both. You have to have 2 or 3% average in 3 different polls, and you have to have 120,000 donators or donations from different places.
I really, really want to see more owned debate states.
I want to see, especially given what we've seen tonight, how much they're going to go after each other, because that's going to be that's got to be the headlines. It's not their pat answers we already knew.
Are you guys watching this commercial?
Yeah, is that Victor Cifuentes? Please tell me it's Victor Cifuentes.
What was that thing called? I got to look up those actors. Bluff City?
Buff City?
B-U-F-F? Bluff? B-L-U-F? Yeah, Bluff City. Oh, we're back.
Oh, Bluff City.
We will march forward here, and I will lean forward here a little bit.
I would
Senator
love to
Warren, we're going to get into the gun question here. Parkland, Florida.
Okay.
It's just north
Third
of
time's
here
a
in Broward
charm.
County. As you know, it has created a lot of teenage activism on the gun issue. It has inspired a lot of you to
Satsu,
come out with
where's
more robust plans to deal
Sinatra,
with
our
guns,
feed.
including assault weapons ban. But even if you're able to implement that, what do you do about the hundreds of millions of guns already out there?
Here we go.
And does the federal government have to play a role in dealing with it?
So,
oh shit! It did go right there.
In this period of time that I've been running for president, I've had more than 100 town halls. I've taken more than 2,000.
Don't answer the question.
And
Geode throws another 5 saying props to having more stable
I got
setup
one from
than
a little boy,
NBC.
and I got one from a little girl.
Thank you, Geode.
And that is to say, when you're president, how are you going to keep us safe?
Oh, God.
What is going on with
That's
her?
our responsibility.
Okay,
as adults.
Elizabeth, you are dodging the
7
fucking question.
children will die
What would
today
you do?
from
No, no,
gun
no,
violence.
no.
Children and teenagers.
People ask me that all the time.
Children and
teenagers,
teenagers, not just children. So
They'll die on
anyone under
sidewalks,
18.
They'll die in playgrounds. They'll die in people's backyards. Gun
Okay,
violence
what are you going to
is
do
a
about all the
national
guns,
health
Elizabeth? That was the
emergency
question.
in this country.
I'll give you 10
talk
seconds.
about how bad they are.
I'll give you 10 seconds to answer the question, Senator Warren.
We can do the things that are sensible.
Like-
we can do the universal
Solves
background
nothing.
checks. We can ban
Background
the
check doesn't
weapons
do
of
anything.
war. But we can also double down on the research and find out what really works. Where it is
Find
that
out
we
what
can
really
make the
works? So you don't have
differences
any- you don't have a
at the
plan.
margins that will
She has no
keep
plan.
our children
All right,
safe.
that's all I needed to
We
hear.
need to treat this like the
Thank you, Senator
virus
Warren.
that's killing our children.
It's a virus?
Address, do you think the federal government needs to go and figure out a way to get the guns
You know what?
that are already out there?
What I think we need to do is we
quickly.
need to treat it like a serious research
gotta
problem,
treat
which we have
research
not
problem.
done. You know, guns in the hands of
I'll
a
give it to
collector
the moderators.
who's
That there have been a
had
few
them for
times tonight where
decades,
they've been like,
who's
"You didn't
never
answer the
fired
question.
a
We'll give you
bullet
one more
safety
chance."
That is true. I
seriously.
will give them
Good, good on them for
Very
that.
different from guns that are sold and turned over quickly. We
That would not have
can't
happened
treat
on
this as an
CNN.
across-the-board problem. We have to treat it like a
Probably not
public
even-
health
well, now Fox would
emergency.
probably do it.
That means bring data to bear, and it means make real
Okay.
change in this
Elizabeth,
country.
you made no
whether
answer.
it's
You did not answer the
politically
question. Shut
popular
up.
Or not.
Senator Booker, you have a program.
Fight for our
Shut
children.
up.
Senator Booker,
You don't have any
you
kids.
have a federal government buyback program.
You look so
in
serious.
your
He really
plan.
doesn't have kids?
How is that going to
I
work?
believe so.
Really?
Well, first of all, I want to say my colleague
Chicago
and I both
Mike
have been
throws
hearing this
a couple
on the
bucks to
campaign
say,
trail.
as a Cuban,
But what's even
never
worse
mind,
is I
here's some
hear
money. Thank you.
gunshots in my neighborhood. I think I'm the only one. I hope I'm the only one on
My
this
neighborhood.
panel here that had 7 people shot in their neighborhood
And where
just
were
last
you,
week.
Corey?
Someone I knew, Shahad Smith, was killed with an assault rifle at the top of my block last year.
Okay.
For millions of Americans,
So what are you
this
gonna
is
do?
not a policy
What's an assault
issue.
rifle,
This
Corey?
is an urgency. And for those who have not been directly affected,
any gun
they're
that looks
tired of
scary.
living in a country where their kids go to school to
What
learn
are you
about
going to
reading,
do?
writing, and arithmetic, and
Yes.
how to deal with an active shooter in their school.
Okay, but what are you going to do?
This is something that I'm tired of, and
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing people, all they have to offer is thoughts and
Okay,
prayers.
what are you gonna do?
you going to do?
People say faith without
Okay,
works
you've given
is
us your
dead.
preamble.
So we will find a
he
way.
just
The
said it.
reason we have a problem right
He just
now
said
is
it.
we've
We will
let
find a way.
the corporate gun lobby frame this debate. It is time that we have bold
He doesn't
actions
have a
and a
plan
bold
either.
You don't have a
agenda.
plan either.
I will get
All right,
that
that's
done
that's
as
two
President of the United
people
States.
without
This is
plans.
not
No
about
plans,
policy.
yep.
This is
At
personal.
least Swalwell has a plan. It's a stupid one, but he has one.
talk to you about something that Senator Booker just mentioned there, the idea of
Pinkalo, also thank
active
you for the
shooter
donation
drills
from
in
earlier.
schools.
Here's some
School shootings
reparations
seem
for
like
these white
an
boys
almost
oppressing you.
every day or every week occurrence now. They don't make a complete news cycle anymore,
yes,
no
please play
matter
the
the
data.
death toll.
Did he
As
mean
parents
us
are
or the
so
people on the
afraid as
stage?
their kids go off to school that their kids will be caught up in something like this. Next to nothing has changed in federal law that might affect the prevalence of school
There
shootings.
isn't a law that will
Is this a
affect the
problem that
prevalence
is
of
going
school
to
shootings.
continue to
A
get
locked door
worse
only keeps
over
out
our
an honest man,
lifetimes? Or is there
guys. I
something
hate to
that
tell
you
you
would
this.
do as
The only thing
president
stopping
that
a
you
school
really think
shooter
would turn it
from
around?
shooting up a school is them deciding not
Rachel,
to do it.
I'm
9 times out
the
of 10.
dad of a 10-year-old girl, Karina, who's here tonight.
Yeah, that's not a note of
The worst
support. That's
thing
just pragmatic
is
fucking sad
knowing
reality.
that your child might be worried about what could happen at school, a place that's supposed to be safe. The answer to your question is no. We don't have to accept that. And
but what are you
I
gonna do?
believe that on January 20th, 2021, at 12:01 p.m., we're going to have a Democratic president, a Democratic House, and a Democratic Senate.
And what?
They're clapping like fuck for that, but what does that mean?
Everything, Julian.
The activists of Parkland, folks from Moms Demand, who have risen up across the United States and inspired so many people. You know, we may not have seen yet legislative action. But we're getting closer.
Patrick's
The
right.
House
We
took
should
a
pass a
vote.
law against shooting people.
In the Senate,
that will take care of all of
The question
this.
often is, if the
Oh, you know what?
decision is
Pass a
between
law against
60
shooting
votes,
children.
a filibuster, or
Ah.
passing common
Yeah,
sense
be
gun
specific.
reform, I'm going to
You didn't
choose
think of
common
that.
sense gun reform.
What you gotta do is
So I believe that
regulate
we're gonna
the
be able to
bullets.
Get that done in 2020.
I vote for Chris Rock's plan. Make every bullet cost $5,000.
Briefly,
We'll give you 30 seconds for a follow-up on that question, on that answer from Secretary Castro. Congressman Ryan.
You're talking about in the schools. These kids are traumatized. I support all the gun reforms here. We need to start dealing with the trauma that our kids have.
What?
We need trauma-based
So you want to send
caring in
psychologists to every school on
We
the
need
off chance
social
of
and
a shooting
emotional
there?
learning in every school. 90% of the shooters who do school shootings come from the school they're in, and 73% of them feel shamed, traumatized,
Yeah, Emma Gonzalez.
or bullied. We need to make sure that these
Are we not
kids feel
supposed to bring her
connected
up?
to the school.
We're talking about
That means
bullying
a mental
people into
health
shooting.
counselor in every single school
Thank
in
you,
the
Robert.
United States.
Ask
We
Booker
need
about
to start
plans for
playing
handgun
offense.
violence
If
in the
our kids
neighborhood
are so
he lives in, the
traumatized that they're
neighborhood
getting a gun and going
like
into our schools,
it
we're
is
doing
in
something
Chicago and
wrong
St.
too,
Louis,
and we need reform around
1755.
trauma-based
Yeah, you know, they touched on it, but they didn't really go through with it. School shooters also come from 90% single mother households, but you won't hear them bring that up, will you?
But says, you know what, the Democrats, if I vote for them in there, they're going to take my gun away. And even though I agree with you on all these other issues,
They haven't even said that yet.
conversation.
Hey, Chuck, you're talking
Here's
about
how
that. They
we
haven't
had
said
that
that in their
conversation in
plans.
Texas.
Uh-oh.
I shared with them what I learned from those students who survived the Santa Fe High School shooting. Young student named Bree, her friend Marcel, who survived another
Does he
shooting,
have any answers
the
that don't
mother
involve somebody he
of a
talked
victim
to?
who lost her life, Rhonda Hart.
He is the
They talked
walking
about
anecdote.
universal background checks, where you close every loophole. We know
Anecdotal
that they save
Rourke.
lives. Talked about ending the sales of assault weapons into our communities. Those
He
weapons
needs
of war were
to take
designed
another
kill
hit of that
people
coke,
as
man.
effectively
He's
and
winding
as efficiently
down.
as possible. They should
His
belong
nose
on the
is-
battlefield.
Coca-Cola,
not in
guys,
our
I'm not
communities.
suggesting that he
Red
uses
flag
cocaine.
laws,
I am not
that if someone
suggesting
poses a
Beto
danger to
O'Rourke uses
themselves or
cocaine.
someone else, they're stopped
Even though he
before it's
does
too
look like
late.
a
And what
Bush
I
brother.
found in each one of those 254 counties is that Democrats and independents
He looks
and
like a
Republicans,
Kennedy and a Bush
gun
had a
owners
kid.
and non-gun owners
Yeah,
alike
that's
agreed.
yeah.
But this effort must be led by the young people that you referenced
No!
at the beginning of this issue. Those students from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas led the
don't know
charge here
shit,
in
Beto.
Florida.
That's why
and were
you're-
able to
Beto,
change
they've-
those laws.
You're
They're
the
making our
adult in the room,
democracy
aren't you?
work, ensuring that our values and our
David
interests
has
and our
survived
priorities
7
are
assassination
reflected in
attempts
the laws
because
that
of
we
this.
pass.
Isn't that more gun violence? Damn it.
Hang on.
That makes him an expert.
Let me give 30 seconds. Senator Klobuchar, Iron Range.
Look at
Curious.
Look at Inslee pointing his
Gun
finger. You're like,
confiscation,
oh.
right? If the government is buying back, how do you not have that conversation?
Well, that's not confiscation. You would give
And
them
if
the
they
offer
don't give it
buy
to
back
you?
their gun. But I'll say this: I look at these proposals.
Answer that
and I
question,
say,
'cause that's what Swalwell won't
Does this
answer.
hurt my Uncle Dick and his deer stand?
Oh,
Coming
no,
from
not
that
from
hunting
anecdote.
efficiency.
Anecdote
These
Klobuchar.
proposals don't do that. When I was a prosecutor, I supported the
Yeah,
assault
super chats.
weapon ban. When I was in the Senate, I saw
Chicago
those
Mike, thank you.
moms
Here's
from
an idea.
Sandy Hook
What
come
about
and try to advocate
protecting
for
the kids
change.
with someone
And
who's
we
fully
all failed.
armed?
And
Oops,
then
wrong party
now
answer.
these
And thank you,
Parkland kids
Lamented
from
Guide.
Florida,
But
they
Beto
started
does use magic
literally
dirt.
a
Yes, he
national
does.
shift.
He eats
You know
it.
why? It's just like with gay marriage.
He ate
When
magic
kids talk
dirt,
to their
y'all.
parents
That's a
and
true
their
story.
grandparents, they say, "I don't understand why we can't put these
Wait.
sensible things in place." Say, "Listen, and
All
if
right.
we get bested by a
Senator,
bunch of
thank you.
17-year-olds, it's the best thing
Senator,
that ever
thank
happened."
you.
Oh, dear Christ.
You get bested by a 17-year-old. It's the best thing that ever happened. Oh, you want to be president?
Achievement as Senate Majority Leader
Sounds like she wants to be a high school
preventing
teacher.
President Obama from filling a Supreme Court seat.
Wait, what Booker already had?
Served with Republicans Republicans on
You
the
didn't let
Judiciary
Inslee talk.
Committee,
You didn't let Ryan.
believe they would confirm
There's like 4 other people you haven't had.
I'm going to use 20 of my seconds just to say there's one thing we don't all agree with when it comes to guns, and I think it's common sense, and over 70% of Americans agree with me. If you need a license to drive a car,
what is
you
common sense gun control?
Own a firearm. And not everybody
They can't
in this
define
field
it.
agrees
They
with
won't
that, but in
define
states
it.
like Connecticut that did that, they saw 40% drops in gun violence and 15% drops in suicides. We need to start having bold agendas on guns. When it comes
Then
to the
what is
Supreme
your
Court,
plan,
very
Corey?
clearly, I agree with my friend, Secretary Castro. We are going to get to 50 votes in the Senate. This is a team sport.
You are?
Whoever is our nominee needs to campaign in places like South Carolina because we can elect Jamie Harrison. They need to campaign in places like Iowa.
That's got nothing to do with anything, dude. You're not answering the fucking question.
This is about getting
and
us back
you've got
to
a second
having
bite
50
at the
votes
apple,
in the
by the
Senate
way.
and
There's other
more,
guys at the
so
end of
that
the
we can
aisle
not
here.
only
Like
balance
Tulsi
the
hasn't even had a
Supreme
chance to talk
Court, but
about
start
guns
to
yet.
pass an aggressive agenda that frankly
ignoring
isn't
the
so
woman.
aggressive because most of America agrees with the policy objectives of our party.
Well, frankly, only about 3 people should be on this stage.
Mayor de Blasio, you're used to
In fairness, we have to actually.
Congressman
No, he
Delaney, you'll
won't.
have some time in a moment on this issue.
Related.
Congressman Delaney, I'll give you some time in a
Here we go.
moment. Mayor de Blasio, as an executive in the largest city in this country, you are
You've
used
been
to
ignoring
saying
Delaney.
what you
Let's
want to
not-
have happen
let's not kid
and having
ourselves.
it happen. If you nominate a Supreme Court nominee as President of the United States and Mitch McConnell is still Senate Majority Leader, what makes you believe that he would allow you to make a nominee?
Rachel, I am chief executive of the nation's largest city, and I also want to just say something quick on the gun issue and come to your question.
Are they really asking if they think
largest
Mitch
police force in
McConnell will let
America,
them
too, and if we're gonna
nominate
stop
someone?
These shootings, we want to get these
Yes.
guns off the
What
street. We
the
have to have a very
fuck is
different
wrong
relationship
with these
between our
people?
police and our community.
He's not,
I also
look,
want to say
it's
there's
not going
something
to
that
be
sets me apart
unless you like Mitch
from
McConnell's
all my
best
colleagues
friend, and
running
even
in
then
this
he's not
race.
going
That
to
is,
because
for
the
the
party
last
politics will
21
not
years,
allow
I've
him
been
to
raising
just
a black
keel
son
over
in
to you.
America.
So you're going to
And
have to
I've had to
stack
have
both
very, very
houses
serious talks with my
with
son
your own
Dante about
guys,
how
and
to
that's
protect himself on
probably
the
not
streets
going
of
to
our city
happen.
and all over this country, including how to deal with the fact that he has to take special caution.
Well, Mitch is going
because
to
there
care
have
a
been
lot
too many
less about the
tragedies
Supreme
between
Court
our
now.
young
I
men
mean,
and our police,
if we're going to
too,
replace
as we saw recently
Ginsburg,
in Indiana.
it's a
So we
different
need to have
thing
a
than if
different
you're
conversation in
replacing
this country
Thomas.
about guns, but also
Yeah,
a different
exactly.
conversation about policing that brings police and
It is
community
the balance
together.
the
We've
court
done
wouldn't
that
use.
in New York
But
City,
he'd still
and
fight
we've
against
driven
it.
down
Let's not
crime while
kid
we've done
ourselves.
it. But to your question about Mitch McConnell,
Someone checked
there's
to see if
political
Shu still
solution
has a
that we have
pulse.
to
What,
come
is
to
she
grips
being
with.
quiet
The
over there?
Democratic Party would stop acting like the party of the elites and be the party of working people again and go into states, including red
Are
states.
you telling me the Democrats are not acting like the party of the elites?
No, they're not, man. They're the party of the little people.
Nominees that are put forward, decent
That's why they don't support shooting kids or drowning them.
And don't get me wrong, the Republicans aren't exactly,
I promise. Let me
acting
get
like
this question.
paupers
We're
or anything,
trying.
but for fuck's
I know you
sake,
guys,
let's not kid
we got other
ourselves.
issues we're trying to get to, including a big one coming up in a minute. But Senator Warren, I want to
What?
continue on the.
You
Mitch
haven't let
McConnell
Delaney
thing
talk.
because
You
have a
haven't
lot
let.
of-
Hey, he'll be allowed to talk in a minute.
Okay.
Oh my
Talk
God!
We'll
about
give
the
him
Supreme
time in a
Court.
minute.
Do you have a plan?
We were just
deal
told that
with
twice.
Mitch McConnell.
I
If
had
you
at least
don't
hoped
beat
they'd
him
give
in the
everybody a
Senate,
fair
if
shot.
he's
and
still
they're not,
sitting
it's
there as the
bullshit.
Senate Majority Leader, it's very plausible you be elected president.
This is
with a
so
Republican
one-sided.
Senate.
Why did they even bother
You have a
having
plan
everybody
to
else
deal
up
with
here?
Mitch
No,
McConnell.
this is lopsided as fuck. I didn't even hear what you said.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was talking, guys.
We are democracy.
No, we're
and the
not!
way democracy is supposed to work is the will of the people matters.
You're a
Now,
representative
we, for
democracy,
far too
you
long,
twit.
have had a Congress in Washington
A
that is just
Republican
completely
form of
dismissed
government
We're not
guaranteed
a
by
representative
care about
democracy.
across this country.
We are.
They have
A
made this
constitutional
country
republic.
work much better for those who can make giant
In Congress, my
contributions, made it work better for those who hire armies of lobbyists and lawyers, and not made it work for the people. Well, here's how I see this happening. Number one, sure, I want to see us get a Democratic majority in the
She
Senate.
is shaking quite
but
a bit,
short of
isn't
a
she?
Democratic majority in the Senate, you better understand the fight still
Yeah.
goes on.
She is full on pointing with her old fingers.
Somebody needs to take this and put a tomahawk in her hand during this part while she's doing that.
Monkey, no.
Oh, yo.
And make
What?
this Congress reflect the will
Oh,
of
I
the
think he
people.
was
I'm going to get a couple of you in here. I'm going to get you a couple in here. 30 seconds.
Scribe, check check your blood pressure.
Delaney, you seem to believe you can do everything in a bipartisan manner.
I'm about to check mine.
Oh, hey, they're going to let him talk.
Mitch McConnell
Oh, my God.
doesn't operate that way. He operates differently. Why do you think he is going to conform to your style?
I think we need to get things done. That's why I believe we need to operate in a bipartisan manner. Listen, I'll sign into law bills that come to the White House that are passed on.